All right, welcome to season 7, episode 8 of the Will Reads. Yeah, guys, sorry, I still need to edit that intro. I threw that together like in 5 minutes, like a few weeks ago, and I think the sound's way too loud.
I thought it was excellent. I was so impressed
Yeah,
with the
I thought it was
quality.
like super fancy.
I was like, oh my gosh, where did they
I
get
just
this?
threw it together like in 5 minutes, and I was like, yeah, I need to do some
Wow,
stuff.
it is
I was gonna forget.
professional looking.
Well, thanks.
I was like, does StreamYard do that? Like, wow.
No, I had
did
a,
not.
yeah. I went and
Great.
Googled a program and then just started playing.
Well, it is excellent.
And then haven't had time since. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, welcome everyone to another fun episode. If you guys notice, we do not have Ian tonight. He has given me liberty to share. Yeah. He's given me liberty to share what's going on. So as he's talked about on the podcast, he had a vasectomy about a month ago or so. Well, he got like an infection or something. Had to go to ER today. He's on pain meds. He went to sleep. So he called me up about an hour ago. He's like, dude, I'm on so many pain meds. I cannot make it. I was like, yeah, dude, that's fine. If you had to just be worked on, that's okay.
We have Lily here. Lily can make up for him.
Oh, the cat, yeah.
I'm assuming Lily's the cat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pops up all the time.
One of the cats. Your cat's
Perfect.
Lily, and what's the other one's name?
Oscar. He'll show up
Oscar.
eventually.
Yeah, he will.
These ones
He just got these two cats. What, about a month ago, 2 months ago?
No, we've had him now since.
Yeah, time's relative.
Yeah. They had been showing up on the show for about a month or so, but they've been here for a while. They just started to get really comfortable with chilling.
Being on the
back of
camera.
my chair.
Yeah, there you go. Quick announcements on what's going on. Not this weekend, but next weekend we're back again with Wad of Fortune. We're gonna have Danny Brett, who are our guests tonight. Talk to them in a second. They've been on before as contestants, but we will have 3 new contestants. It's going to be Shelly from Threefold Talk, Zool from Everywhere, and Let's Be Nerdy. So it should be a fun-filled event doing some Wheel of Fortune, Wheel of Time themed. So that's not this weekend, but the following Saturday. I think the 11th is that. As far as Cosmere stuff, we'll do that at some point. We have no date set for that.
Oh
We are going to do
God,
more Cosmere. That's only 2 big things. We have
Warbreaker. I
Yeah.
need more Warbreaker. For those that have read, you clearly can understand. After reading the epilogue, it's like,
but
I need more.
But we're not talking
I
about
don't know how you can be reading like both series at the same time. Like my brain would get so confused. Oh my gosh, I couldn't do that.
I'm working, and at one point in time, I was doing many things at one time. I have slowed down quite a lot.
Yeah, I'm actually doing the Wheel of Time, the Cosmere with these guys, and rereading A Song of Ice and Fire right now.
Ooh.
Are you preparing for the new book that's coming out in
That nobody
Never.
knows about?
That's why I quit.
Yeah,
I should have
Wait.
quit, Martin. Like
whenever that's coming, I guess. Yeah. So
Martin was only good because it got me into Jordan.
Yeah, there you go.
Without Game
That
of
works.
Thrones, Alan and I would have never had this conversation about the
That's
Wheel of
true.
Time.
That's how we bonded. Was over Game
Well,
of
there you go.
Thrones.
That works then.
So it was worth something.
We were
It
at a
was.
wedding,
Okay.
and I sat next to you. You knew my wife, and we sat
Yep.
next to you at the wedding, and like randomly, I think it was when Game of Thrones was still on TV, like
Yep.
the original series, and it was third season. I'm like, hey, dude, I can't remember if you brought it up or I brought it up. Like, hey, you watched Game of Thrones last Sunday? I was like, yeah, dude, I love Game of Thrones. It's like, just
And then the geeking happened.
then the geekiness began. So enough talk about announcements and things like that. We do have guests tonight. We have Danny and Brett from the Will Weaves. Thank you guys so much for coming all the way from up north.
And if
You're
you're not
travel
watching on
from the White?
YouTube, they
Yeah,
have
White.
the most phenomenal artwork behind them. I'm like absolutely loving it.
Oh, yeah.
All
It's
the
the wheel
prints back
wall.
there. It is
Mm.
perfect. Like it's so
That's
cool.
really cool.
Thanks.
One day.
Yeah,
I'll get on
no,
your level.
it's good. I could.
I have there's a dollhouse in the background behind me.
There is. That's his childhood
All the
dollhouse.
kids' toys are scattered about
Yeah, all the
around.
kids' toys are like over there.
Well, I'm at my parents' house right now, so that's actually, I guess, my niece's dollhouse. My daughter uses it now too. So yeah, it's the grandkids' dollhouse.
But yeah, we trekked all the way down here from the Blight.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
No, it's good. It's really cold actually.
That's what we
where
call
are.
Canada.
Canada's
Canada's the Blight.
It's horribly cold this
Mhm.
week. I don't like it. I don't know
Yeah.
actually know why we live here. So
Yeah.
every once in a while it crosses my mind that we should move somewhere
Yeah.
warmer.
Now, how far up in Canada are you guys?
We're pretty northern-ish. We are
Oh.
in Edmonton, Alberta. For
Yeah.
anybody who knows Canadian geography.
So like
Why?
if you drive like 5 hours north of where we are, then
Mhm.
you start getting signs for Alaska. If
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
gives some context.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say if you drive 5 hours north of like the US border above Montana.
Yeah, that too.
Okay.
That too.
That sounds
Well,
cold.
yeah.
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 Sounds way too
Yeah,
cold.
sometimes. But
Sometimes.
we got the mountains, so sometimes it's also like sort of warm.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
It's
a
all
friend
over.
from high school that moved to Nome, Alaska, which is like
Oh.
North Alaska.
Mhm.
And I just don't understand. Like, she took a job up there working for a radio station, and yeah, half the year they're cut off. Like,
Yeah.
you can't. There's no planes. There's no cars can
Can't
get in
get-
there. They're
Yeah,
cut off.
There's no
They're hard
way.
to-
Oh, that's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, fun times. Yeah. So tell us a little about your podcast, your first time reader podcast, and
Yeah.
A
That's
little bit
right.
about you, who you are.
Yeah, well, no, if you don't know who we are by now, I mean, Brett is the Alan and I'm the Chris and Ian.
There you go.
That's how
Awesome.
that works. I'm the first time reader. Brett's the long time reader. We started almost 4 years ago
Mhm.
and we just finished Winter's Heart.
Yes. Yeah, book
We're
9.
Nice.
just at the end of book 9, about to start book 10. So that's pretty exciting. It's a little bit of a milestone for us.
That's a
And
fun
yeah.
ending. That's all I'm gonna say, Chris.
Just say you're quite a bit ahead of where we are, but
Mhm.
that means there's a lot of mining to do.
That means I have information in my head that
I
you don't
know.
know, and I'm not
I
used to being
know.
the one who has to keep my mouth zipped
So who's your favorite character right now?
right now. Mhm,
If she
mhm.
says, I'll just tip her chair out of the screen.
That works.
If
Yeah.
you could
fun
pick your
time.
top 3 favorite events that has happened so far, what are
Mm.
they?
Mhm,
Well, there was
mhm,
this thing from the
mhm.
Great Hunt, from the Shadow Rising, and then
That's
from-
right. Yep.
Who's Amelin
Keep
right
it eye of the
now?
world.
Yeah, even all out
I'm
of
just
the
gonna
world.
smile and nod.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm,
Uh-huh.
mhm.
Yep. I say sure a lot. That's sure. Yeah. So I don't know how you do it, Brett. Because
Well, you do it too. Like, don't.
What do you mean?
I don't do it with my wife. I
Oh,
mean,
that's
my
fair.
wi-
Okay,
yeah,
that's
that's
fair.
that's a big difference. I do it with my
Just lie
friends.
right
so
to my
like,
face.
I can gaslight them and be like really obnoxious to them, and I don't really care because they're just friends. Like,
Are you
it's,
saying
it's
that I
not the
can't
same.
do the same things to Danny?
No,
Can.
he's really you know what? He is really
I have to
obnoxious
go to
to me.
sleep. with.
Yeah.
He gaslights
But like
me
I
all
said,
the time.
I don't know
lies
how
right to my
I
face.
would do it. Anyways, good times. So yeah, personal life, what's going on in my world? Well, I'm at my parents' house because my internet is down at my house. Actually, it's not down. I have internet at my house. I don't have electricity to the internet, so it doesn't work. We had contractors out there today. We're doing some renovations. I talked about it before the podcast, but they came out and they didn't get done with the job, and they hooked up like half the power to the house. But the internet wasn't the half that they've connected the wires back.
Boo.
That's the
And
important part.
Yeah.
yeah, I would be that guy that would just go down there and start doing it myself. But because they're rewiring the entire house, I don't want to mess anything up. And I don't have time. I didn't have time. So it's just easier to drive over to Farron's house and set everything up. And so if I sound kind of echoey, it's because I'm in a really big room and I'm not recording in a little small space. Because it's all I have here. So but that's it for personal life. Oh yeah, I'm going to plane flight on Thursday. We've talked about that before too. That's coming up really close. Taking my kids on their first plane ride. So,
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay,
if you
lots
guys
of
have done it as
snacks.
parents, what?
Lots of snacks.
Lots of snacks. It's a short
More
plane ride.
snacks. More snacks, the better.
It's an hour plane ride.
that's
We're just
enough.
going.
You're
We're just
good.
going to Tampa, Florida, from Virginia. So it's not a very long plane ride. But just the logistics of getting. We have 3 kids: a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So just logistics is gonna be fun.
Good luck.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, no, that's all. Good luck. Snacks are important.
Snacks.
But here's the thing: it's an hour flight time, right? Because
Yeah.
Right.
but you also got to remember there's time in the airport, there's time in the airplane while you're not flying yet, like on the tarmac, and then the landing
Right.
time when you land.
That's
It's really
You're
a
not getting on the
3 hour
airplane yet, so it's like not an
So-
hour flight.
So these Yoda things, they're like these little kids headphone sets. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they do like basically like audiobooks, but like for kids. And so my kids got really into them. So they'll put their headphones on and listen to stories. So I'm like, my daughter will do like Elsa and the whole Frozen thing, and my son just listens to all the children versions of Star Wars on repeat. Like, so he'll listen to
Cool.
all the, like, he just loves it. So he'll just listen to that. So I just put those on their heads, put on the plane, and they'll be occupied for hours just
If
listening.
it
to
works, it
audiobooks.
works. There you go.
I wish I would
Start them out right? You know, get them young. Chris, what's going on with you?
You know, not a whole lot. I tried to cut part of my finger off this weekend. Yeah, I got in there really good. You can't really.
I wouldn't
Oh,
recommend that.
Shouldn't have done
No.
that.
Yeah, it needed a little bit of extra touch, extra seasoning. So I went for it, and let me tell you, the blood that will flow from your finger,
Oh yeah, it's like
and
you're
then
dying.
the learning experience for Chanel is I like chop my finger. Like I'm got this new knife set, and I'm just going to work chopping some meat, and then she says something to me. I start talking to her, and it's like I go in and I feel it cutting. I like throw the knife. I'm like, whoo, and it just starts instantly, just like
Yeah, that's why I'm
This.
not allowed sharp knives.
it's
It's a rule in
It's a
our
rule,
house.
yeah.
I'm not allowed real kitchen knives because I will cut my finger. off.
yeah.
we like throw the water on. I put my finger under so that
Yeah.
it doesn't get all over the kitchen, and I'm still making lunch off to the side with my right hand. And she's like, what do I do? I'm like, let's go get some stuff out of the bathroom. Like, I know we have some stuff. I'm like, we gotta have gauze, and we gotta have the had none of it. She comes out with band-aids and Neosporin, and I'm like, that's not
That's
gonna
not
work.
gonna
For
do it.
sure, we'll try. And so like we use cotton balls, which are a horrible idea,
Oh, I wouldn't do
to
that.
like
Mhm.
sop up some of the blood, and then we throw a band-aid. She like, I pull it out, cotton it off, and then the blood's still pooling, and she like puts
Yeah.
Neosporin on top of it, and I'm like, this is not gonna work. Well, we
Nuh-uh.
gotta try something. She throws the band-aid on, and I count to 5, and I take it off, and blood is just
Yeah, put
everywhere
pressure on
again.
that. Have you never taken
Yeah.
a first aid course?
I don't know. It was super easy. I'm like,
Pressure, lots of pressure.
I'm like, Chanel, go up in there and get me some flour. And she's like, get you what? I said, flour. Why do we want flour? We're not cooking anything. I said, just get the flour. And she goes, I don't see any flour. I'm like, I know we have flour in there. I just cooked with it not too long ago. I go up, pull out the coconut flour, put it in a whiskey glass, and I start stirring it around with my finger. And she's like, what are you doing? I pull it out, and it like clotted the blood. I'm like, boom, we just need to clot it.
That's yeah.
And we're
Yeah.
not worried about bacteria in the flour. Cool. Okay.
Well, not all the flour. No, put the flour in a cup, in a separate cup.
Yeah, got
Yeah.
it.
Just like in the flour jar with
No,
the
no,
Yeah.
no. There's like bacteria in flour. That's why you have to cook it before you eat it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know.
but there's also bacteria that will like eat all the bad stuff around there, and
Mm-hmm.
so
Sure.
I went,
Just
ate
rub
my
some dirt on
lunch,
it.
and exactly.
Just let it
That's what
bleed
my
and,
stepdad would have
eventually
done.
you'll run out of blood, right? Just like
Exactly.
let it bleed until all the blood's gone, then you're good.
Yeah. And
Medical
then,
advice. Let me put a disclaimer. How do you find a banner for that?
Well, I wouldn't
And
do
then-
what Chris did.
I grabbed a paper
I also
towel and
wouldn't do what Brett did.
I wrapped it in a paper towel, and then I took duct tape and went around it with duct tape. Let me tell you, when I went into the Med Express to get some actual help, they're like, "You're either from the hood or from the country. Which one is it?" I'm like, a little bit of both.
My brother's
You
a
gotta keep track
doctor.
of it.
Yeah, he worked in York, Pennsylvania, in Amish country, and said some of the like home remedies that they would do. He said it was just the most grossest stuff in the entire world. Like that they It's like wives' tale type stuff. Like they would, like one guy had appendicitis, so because he had stomachache, they just rubbed tar all over him. So he had like thick tar like kicked on his stomach.
Oh.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's like-
not gonna do anything. Your appendix
And
is-
like, why are you doing this? It's like, well, that's what we've always done when you have stomachache. You put tar on it. And like, yeah, it's not helping anything. It's just gross. Like-
oh my goodness.
Nope.
But
No thanks.
so interestingly enough, they have flour in the whiskey glass. I should have got the whiskey and took a shot,
I
but
was gonna say you
Yeah.
drink the whiskey and
drink the
then, you know,
whiskey, put the flour. So
Yeah.
they have used corn maze since like World War whatever, and I'm sure before that as packing material for wounds.
Okay.
So I actually learned about that, and I was like, well, that memory flashed in my mind, like, oh, just use flour.
there you go.
And then when I got there, they did a little cleaning, and so now I'm letting it air out at the moment.
Did you get
but-
stitches? Or did
No,
they glue
it
it?
cut in there, but they were like, the flour did the job. So they didn't even clean the flour off. They just cleaned around the flour and left the flour.
Hmm.
So
All right.
apparently it's not as bad for you as we think.
There you go.
Cool, man.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Cool
There we
story.
go. Yeah.
So
And,
Part
and one thing I did forget to announce in the very beginning, we do have two new patrons. This episode's for you guys,
Oh,
Ben and Leaf. Leaf or Leaf, I don't know how to pronounce it, so sorry
Thanks,
if I butchered
guys.
that. But thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome.
Yay.
Anything going on?
Patreon support. Woo.
Yeah. Anything
right.
going on with you guys besides just cold at Canada? Or...
We're going Jordan Con. That's official now.
That is. That's not like
Ooh.
immediate personal
I have
life.
to
That's
but
like
yeah.
in our
Yeah.
lives. That's like
In our
coming
lives,
up. That's
that
like
is.
Now,
That's
I know you
exciting.
guys didn't go last year because
No.
but you guys go the previous year
Because of nope.
because COVID.
So-
yeah, we didn't. We
The year before that was COVID.
mhm.
And
last year we got COVID, but we had to.
well, and also the border restrictions
Yeah,
were too
we're not-
stringent
yeah.
and we couldn't.
Yeah, because it was
risk
like we might not be able to get back into Canada, and it's like you
Yeah.
can't not get back into the country when you
Yeah.
got 2 kids here. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
like we can't just
Well, I
hang out
mean-
for a couple extra days. Maybe.
No. So
So-
that it just wasn't in the stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this year it sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's exciting.
Funny, not so funny story that actually happened to my cousin.
Oh.
His wife went back to visit her family when COVID started in China. His wife's from China. She couldn't come back.
That's
Yep.
crazy. Yeah.
like she was stuck there. Like I think she still might be there, but he has her kid. She already had a kid from a previous marriage, so he has her kid in the States. Her mom, she can't get
Oh,
back to
wow.
the States.
dude,
They're
that's
married. It's like
Yeah, that's rough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
it was like for 6 or 7 months before she could finally get back. But like
Wow.
China won't let her. Like nope. You're
No
not
kidding.
leaving.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's rough.
Fun
But
times.
no, this is the year. We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Well, because that's like the thing in the personal lives that is a thing. It's like,
That's true.
What
Yes.
else? I don't
Well,
know
I
what
was
else.
gonna say, like we went to the science museum
That's
with our kids,
exciting.
the
Yeah.
science
cool.
center,
That's awesome.
and we have this blue whale exhibit that's really cool
Yeah.
because they have like the full blue whale skeleton,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
that
it-
is
That's
nice.
like on the plate, and it's
awesome.
bigger
So
than
cool.
a dinosaur. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's like
Awesome.
you know the blue whale is like the biggest creature ever. Like everyone knows
Yeah.
it's gigantic, but it's like until I saw the bones like in front of me, it's like wow, this thing is actually.
You feel like you're at one of those like
ginormous.
with the
That's what she
dinosaur.
said.
Is that in Alberta? They got a blue whale in Alberta? Like,
Well,
Well, yeah,
no,
okay.
it washed up on the shores of Newfoundland,
okay.
and it's an exhibit that's like
Gotcha,
traveling
gotcha,
around.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Traveling is
Yes.
that's gonna cost a lot of money to move.
But also,
Probably.
Drumheller is the dinosaur place, and that is in Alberta.
Yes.
It's like
Okay.
one of the best dinosaur places in the
Dinosaur
world.
Museum. Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Interesting.
lots and lots of
Yeah, the
dinosaur
Badlands.
excavation
Yep.
around.
Also,
in Alberta.
Alan,
Oh,
That's cool.
because of
But
you, I
not blue
started
whale.
Walking Dead, but we won't go there.
sorry,
Yeah.
Walking Dead. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. I'm watching it. I literally the only reason why I still watch it is because I have to start something. I have to finish it. I don't even like it anymore.
Yeah, we
I
stopped
mentioned
a
it
long
to
time ago.
Chanel, and she's like,
We
"Oh,
stopped a
that's
really long
something we
time
can
ago.
watch."
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just finished the whole first
I
season.
just mentioned it the other day on our podcast that I was watching the final season because I hadn't watched it yet. It came on Netflix, and I was like, all right, It's the final season. I'll just watch it.
Yeah. I'd probably put Walking Dead up there with like the best opening episode of a TV show I've ever seen ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
it's
like
good.
number one. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, first season was great. I mean, it started out strong, and then it just kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We I think maybe around season 5 or so,
Yeah,
was when we stopped, and we
I don't
had
remember.
to try and push through season 5. It was like season 4 or 5.
I don't remember. No, yeah. I don't know.
Like
You guys are
season
far
8
ahead. It's like
of the
when
show that
Rick
must not be
when
an
Rick
end.
left the show, basically.
yeah.
I'm not that. This is my first time ever watching.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So let's get into these chapters since we did have a complaint the other day that we talked too much and not talk about real time enough.
On a podcast, someone complained about you talking.
I know.
Rude.
I think the exact comment. I think the exact comment was like, "I can't believe you guys have been doing this for years. And I still have to skip the first half an hour to actually get to Wheel of Time content." I was like, "Sorry."
Thanks for downloading.
Have you
Thanks
not
for listening.
listened? Excuse me. Have you not listened to our podcast? We can end right now for all I care.
And it's like
we
the
are
book
literally
series.
doing
Anybody who
this.
reads Wheel
And
of Time
that's
has
all
to
I got for
enjoy
tonight.
content.
So
Peace.
Over here.
We literally do this because we want a chance to hang out as friends. This just gives us an excuse to do it.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly.
And every now and then we have a drink.
Every now and then, I didn't bring drinks with me over at my parents' house, and they don't drink, so I have
Oh.
Yeah.
sparkling water. I had a margarita at dinner, so that was
Thank you,
That
Katie.
counts.
We are highly consistent. I think
Whenever
that's-
we have like Mexican night and have a margarita before we record, it's always the most fun episode. So
yeah.
yeah. I mean, the only reason I had a margarita is because I went to a Mexican restaurant tonight because
There
we
you go.
didn't have power.
oh yeah.
And, and I was like,
Great
I turned to my wife, like, what are we
Just,
for dinner?
like,
She's like,
not
I don't know,
have
take the
power,
kids
so we
somewhere. I was
can
like,
go to a
Mexican.
restaurant.
All right.
I like
All
that
right.
there's this comment in the chat that says someone said, "At least you guys are consistent."
Yes, Katie.
Yeah,
Thanks,
there you
Katie. Like
go.
she
Yeah,
knows.
thanks. Yeah, no, we-
People don't just listen to us for Wheel of Time content. If you do, you're missing out.
Yeah, exactly.
Every now and then we have a nugget in there that's really interesting, especially during COVID time. We were on, on point.
Yeah.
I believe it.
It kept me
Yeah.
sane,
Yeah.
if you want to call it that. So chapter
Are we really?
15. Chapter 15, insects.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Mhm,
And we're in a
mhm.
white cloak point of view. That's not the first white cloak point of view we've had, but
No.
No.
but it's good old
But it's an
Carradine.
interesting one because
It's
it's Mr.
interesting.
Boris himself.
It's just Mr. Bors. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Miss
so
Millie Vanilli.
Millie Vanilli. Yeah. I finally
Yeah,
get her
how
name.
much do you like Millie Vanilli?
She's pretty cool. She's a pretty cool
Yeah.
character. I always
Mhm.
like a really good, competent woman. I like that.
Yeah.
Solid.
gotta
Like
get her
sticks around
backstory
for
too,
a
so-
while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How long?
We do get her backstory. Excellent assassin.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's very true.
Except she didn't succeed with Rand and Matt.
Nope.
No, she didn't.
She
Poor
did not.
child.
Yeah.
My biggest concern in this chapter, honestly, is why there are so many ants inside
Right.
this
Yeah.
palace or place
Yeah.
that he's staying. There's ants crawling all around the table.
A lot of
And it's
ants.
the
Yeah.
only place that they talk about
Like,
those.
did he
Maybe
leave
there's
out a
water
picnic?
there.
Or, like, he left out his
Yeah.
snacks?
But we know
You ever
that
had-
ants like water, so maybe it's
You
just
ever
in
had
the
an
water.
ant infestation? It's
Yeah.
not easy to
Yeah,
get rid of.
which?
I had one in
It's-
my
it's-
car once. That
Oh,
was
gross.
disgusting.
Yeah.
There we go. Not talking about Wheel of Time stuff again. You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh no.
It's
No,
You're on
related.
tangents.
it is-
We do.
Yeah.
This chapter's called insects. What else are we supposed to talk about?
There's ants in the chapter. Yeah.
Lots
So
of
it's
them, lots crawling all around.
yeah, ants everywhere. Yeah.
Ruining
this-
letters.
I don't know. In this age, have they not have some kind of ant trap, or like at least put some vinegar with some like apple cider vinegar or something like
For
that
real,
out there, or
dude. Cinnamon.
something to attract them away to kill
He
them?
Cinnamon
must have
does
left
it.
out a lot of snacks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little boric acid, just kill them all.
There you go. No, that would hey, dichotomous earth. Again, cinnamon's best way to do it. Put cinnamon around the windows.
Oh, it does. That works.
Yeah.
You know,
like
Windex actually kills
disrupts.
them instantly too.
I
I'd like
did
that for my
not know
wife.
I
that.
could see that. Mm-hmm.
I could see
My wi-
Happy
my-
knowing that.
Yeah, I'd like that for my wife because we had like we had ants
in
in our house one time. They were all over everywhere, and she just took all the food out of the cabinet and started spraying Windex. Like, what are you doing? She's like, and I looked, I was like, oh, it's like Armageddon. Got it. Like
Yeah.
they're all just dead, like dead ants
She
everywhere. I
used
was
to
like,
do that. She used to do that to us at meets and such. She's like, okay, y'all want to mess around? Got something for you. His wife
she
was one of our captains to the track.
spray,
team.
spray Windex on you
Spray us
guys.
with one dice. Yeah.
Is she Greek? I don't know.
She sounds like. Let's make it for past the first what is this thing called? Paragraph of the chapter. Let's see
Carradine,
here.
Borscht. Yeah. So he's
Yeah.
talking about all his plans. Starting up mobs in Altera and Marandy. Doing all sorts. Think about trying to kidnap Elaine. That's one of his other plans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good luck.
Mhm.
Good luck, Carradine. You
Yeah.
got this one for sure.
Well,
Sure.
it is
For
so
sure.
funny.
Just
So
go kidnap some Aes Sedai in the middle of a place where there's a bunch of Aes Sedai. Good one.
there
Mhm.
is, I mean, he might succeed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Where
does
others have
actually.
not.
He does succeed. So
Does
There
he?
you go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I like how you do this. I'm gonna find your tells, and then I'm gonna really know when
know.
you're telling me something
I know
real
one
and when
day
you're not.
I'm just gonna mix it up every time. You just
I
are never gonna
appreciate
know.
that. See, the
I'm just
fun
gonna
that we're
agree
gonna
with
have,
everything you say. That's the key.
that
Yeah.
works too. Yo, guys, we have learned now how to make a woman agree with this.
Get him on a
Don't
Wheel
tell
of
my
Time
wife.
podcast.
That's your one. All right.
All right. So, I mean, it's very important to really pay attention to the fact he says a failure to send this report or a report of failure might doom him as surely as those myriad insects. Yet it was fear of a different failure that tightened his gut. So I like that statement because of the parallel that we get at the end of this chapter when he's dealing with Milli Vanilli
Yeah.
and just the show of power that he has after this fear that he's just kind of talked about internally. So it's just like to be able to take that, to pawn it off on somebody else and kind of make himself feel better is really messed up. But
Oh yeah.
it
Mhm.
goes to show that there's this hierarchical power in the Dark Friends structure that is really based on just like what's the word I want to use? Ebbs and flows. Like 1 minute you're
Yeah.
up, 1 minute you're down, the next minute you're back up again.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
they're really just out for themselves, which you would think would destroy. But often we find that people that are often in competition all the way around tend to thrive or just flat out go away.
Yeah, well, we do learn here about the Dark Friends structures, and we learn about how there's a circle of Dark
Mhm.
Friends and that they're led by somebody. And then we learn about this old Cully guy who apparently is some like gross poor beggar, but he's like really high up in the Dark Friend ranks.
He's the
And
old prospector.
and
Yeah.
Jacob Carradine just hates that guy gets respect because he wants respect.
Well,
Yeah.
Jacob Carradine also has like we've seen his opinions of like poor people, and
He thinks they're disgusting.
yeah, he thinks poor people are disgusting, and the fact that an old beggar man is above him in the hierarchy, just that really
Really grinds his gears.
grinds his gears. Yeah, exactly.
It
Yeah.
also makes him want the drink.
yeah.
Yeah.
We know Carradine loves his brandy.
Yeah.
Well, I also love how he's planted people in the Dragon Reborn group to sow seeds of chaos. Like I'd always thought that there had to be more to it, but to have this confirmed, it's like, damn, it sucks that Rand can't get a hold of one group and really make it his own without having people infiltrating. But I mean, it's genius. If you want to sow seeds of chaos, you just pick the chaotic group and you add some more nuts to the whole situation.
Sure.
There you go.
Everybody likes a lot of nuts, right?
Sure.
What she said.
Unless you're allergic.
Maybe she said
I'm
that.
allergic.
I'm not sure. We'll get a report later. To see
Unless
if
you're
she
Ian, I
actually
don't think he's liking his nuts right now. But that's
All three of them.
I don't know if I know Ian well enough to make that joke. So he's not even here to defend himself.
No.
I don't know.
That's the
not.
perfect time to do
It's
it.
great.
Trust me.
He'll go back and listen to this. and just be like, I
Sometimes you
hate
feel like
guys.
that. Sometimes you feel like Ian.
So after all this, he starts thinking about, or Millie comes in and using her fake name. Was it Shane?
The lady
I also want to say I feel him.
dying.
He is concentrating
Yeah.
so hard on that writing because he does not want to have to rewrite it. Imagine not having an eraser or a whiteout. I would be
Yeah.
so frustrated with
No
life.
wonder he's so mad at the ants crawling all over his
Exactly.
The
letter.
worst part is he's using his little cipher too, so that makes it like
Yeah.
doubly hard because you have to like write your letter in cipher, which I imagine is harder than just like in your first language. So it's like,
Exactly.
it's extra bad.
Yeah.
I would kill all
I
of
mean,
them.
it
too.
wasn't that long ago when people used typewriters, and there was no. I mean, when they
My
invented
grandma
like,
tells me about that.
yeah, you messed up one thing, you
True.
had to start the whole page over again because.
Yeah.
I
She
feel
also
like at
used
some
Lotus
point they added like
123.
sort of a backspace button.
Yeah,
but
they
just
Yeah.
did.
something.
So like
Yeah.
a certain like amount of letters, so it would be delayed, so like you could catch it and things like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did, but that was later. I mean, that was more recent, right before computers came. Like that wasn't around for a long time before computers just replaced all of it. So, yeah, the good old typewriter days. When I was a kid, I had a typewriter. But
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty sure I had a typewriter. I don't know if it
I
like
did not.
yeah, I did. I legit had a typewriter.
I had one as a kid.
I had my grandmother. I would
So
call
you're
her
like,
and read her my
"Ching,
papers, and she would
shing."
type them for me.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a nice Macintosh.
Oh,
And the
Okay.
fancy.
only game we had
We
on it
did
was
too.
artillery.
And you
Oh,
put in
nice.
one disc and you wait it for 5 minutes and you put in the second disc to start it up. Yeah, we had an old Macintosh
Yeah.
too. Like I said, I
Yeah.
had my grandma call her and read my paper. I like make sure there's some grammatical errors in there because this my English is not great.
Yeah.
And misspell a few words for me. Don't look it too professional. So
Yeah. We had an IBM growing up. It's a 46. Is that what it was? Something like that. I don't know. Something like that. But yeah, it was,
we had the printer where it had a reams of paper with holes.
yeah, the dot
Yeah.
matrix. Yeah. Dot
Yeah.
matrix printers.
And like all the paper was
Was
connected.
connected.
Yes.
Took 3 days to print 5 pages.
Mhm. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
kids these days will never understand.
Never.
Had to roll the paper up.
It kills me how impatient sometimes I get with my phone.
I know,
when
I
it's like
know.
not loading right then and there. I'm like, I used to wait 15 minutes for AOL to pop on, and now I
Yeah.
can't wait 15 seconds for Facebook to open.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh, I know.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
immediately I imagine it's like as soon as something's not, it's like it must be broken. It's like my
Yeah.
computer must be broken now that
Yeah.
it's not working.
Ugh, I need a new
immediately.
computer. Everything's going way too slow. It took 5 full seconds to open this webpage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor I'm really feeling sorry for Carrot in here. He's had a rough go.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, and Millie has kind of struck out. Her whole job was to find this secret stash of Angreal, Sangreal, and Terangreal. Apparently, it's somewhere. That's what we've been told, and she's striking out, and he's upset because
Well,
he
this
knows
is
that he's
the like cash that the women are looking for.
Yeah, everyone's kind of
Everyone's looking for
focusing on the same general
And I
idea.
have to tell you, I don't know about you, Chris, but I am so sick of the Bowl of the Winds plot at this point that like I don't even care if they find it. I'm just over it. It's so boring.
I don't know what rate you're reading at, but at the rate that we read, I forget about that sometimes. And then it comes
there.
back
Did you
to
just
me when we
recently have
talk
a chapter
about it.
called "The Bowl of the Winds," where
We
you
just
don't
finished the
even
chapter.
find the Bowl of the Winds. You just
That-
learn what it's called.
Exactly. But and like we already knew what it was called. I don't even know why we knew what it was called, but we knew what it was called.
Yeah, up to that point, we're
Yeah.
just calling it Cloud Bowl.
But now
Yeah.
you know that other people know the name of the bowl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, is it a
Probably it's
bowl full of
definitely
farts,
probably
or-
real,
Yeah.
right?
I
Yeah.
remember getting to
Probably
this
very
point.
important.
Yeah, I remember getting to this point in the book, and these next 3 chapters are like the first time in this book I feel that plot actually gets furthered. And
So-
I was like, finally, yes, let's go.
And then you kind of get a whole lot of nothing. It's one of these situations where you do feel like it's got to be really important, but I'm at this point where I'm like, watch them find it, and it doesn't do anything they want it to actually do.
Yes, excellent. That's exactly what that should for sure happen.
I mean, we have, of course, the thought
So bad
that
at this.
it's going to
I have no idea how to do
return
this.
rain and it's going to return better weather, but it could be anything. They don't know. It's been lost for over 2,000 years.
It was just a town girl
That's
bait to
my
like
point.
It was just
Yeah.
a Tiger made to be like a little fan to help you sleep at night, and like they made a
It's
big
full
deal about it.
of-
I was
of
like,
baby
water.
burps.
yeah, it's
Like-
a little bit for a hot day, like the little fans with the water spray
Really
or
just
whatever.
a local air conditioner. You hook it up to your window.
It's just a salad bowl.
But I love Millie. She's just like, hey, these things take time. They cost money. We have
You know what? She's just been out
She just
shopping
wants
for
to
dresses.
go gambling. We
and
just
gamble.
saw her at the racetrack. We just
I
saw
know.
her there. She was just losing all her money at the racetrack.
Yeah,
She's like, that's how it goes when we're looking for things like this. You got to be
Mhm.
discreet. Sometimes you got to waste some money so people don't get suspicious.
Mhm.
She's not taking this serious at all. She didn't take him serious, which I find hilarious since we realize that he's given a directive straight from the Dark One himself. It's like,
yeah. Hold on for a second.
yeah, the Forsaken. Like, what? Why isn't she at least taking this man serious? And she kind of
Well, she
almost
doesn't-
like laughs in his face at this point.
She doesn't really report to him, I don't think. So like she's kind of sort of, but like
It's like a
she's-
lateral.
Yeah, it's not. He's
It's
not high enough
weird.
in the pecking order for her to really.
Yeah, and it's kind
Fair.
of like a
It's a power move.
subcontractor.
It's a power move too
Well-
that she's just like kind of brushing him off.
Well, it's like
Mhm.
subcontractor position where it's like technically he's not her boss, right?
Yeah.
But she's currently working with
On this
slash
project.
for him. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
I'm just doing this project right now.
yeah.
Well,
I'm
I
like
mean,
on this project now, but like I might not be later. So
and I mean, looking at her backstory, like you would think that she'd be a little bit more appreciative, but at the same time, she's kind of earned her spot. Like she got declined the ability or the great honor of becoming an Aes Sedai. So she's like, all right,
That's
Powerball
right.
on witches.
I'm just gonna work directly against them, which is
Yeah.
it's kind of
Those
funny. I
guys,
mean,
that's really what that's about.
yeah, I feel like I would do the same thing. I'd be like, all right, well, if you don't accept me, I'm just gonna
Sorry, I didn't ask. Can I swear?
sure.
Oh, good. Okay, I
Yeah.
swear sometimes.
It's okay.
It's
we,
okay.
We do too. It's quite all right. I don't around my kids, but other than that, yeah. No, on the podcast,
Yeah.
definitely. I think the first
Hmm.
episode was Chris dropped the first F-bomb in the first like 5 minutes.
I
so-
did. It was cool. I was in a darker place then. I really was.
Yeah,
I've
set the
evolved.
pace, right?
Fair,
Like-
fair. Yeah, now we got to spread out those f bombs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know that I've used one in a while.
Yeah.
I have to bring that back.
There
go
you
ahead, try it out.
See how it fits.
Friend.
So as all this is happening, Carradine goes and looks out the window and spots a good old Maddie and
Matt.
talking to the white-haired man on the old man on the street. And,
Yeah. Who seems so shifty.
Mm-hmm.
Such
Yeah.
a shifty guy. I do not trust that guy at this point. I didn't know what was going on
Who
or
do you-
why
who do you
was
think
coming
he
in. I
is?
don't like that.
Who do you think he is?
a
I
good
don't. Yeah,
question.
that's a great
Good
question.
question.
Matt,
He's
cer-
prime.
Matt
He's
certainly
prime.
doesn't
He's
really
prime.
seem to know who that
Some-
is.
some
Is it
creepy old
Padden
man.
Fane?
Oh, is that what you think?
That's what Ian thought last episode. Yeah.
I'm just trying to get confirmation. So
Mm.
is it
Ah.
Padden Fane?
It can disguise. Okay.
Could
I mean,
be.
are we getting new characters introduced? We do have 7 whole more
It's-
books.
it's the old-
Also, also,
It's the old
could
man from
be.
Family Guy, like, little man, come over here.
Hi, you
Yeah.
want reach in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't know. Seemed super weird because we just got just before this. He was even confused.
That's in these chapters.
That's in these chapters.
Later
Okay.
on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So as all this is happening, all of a sudden, he starts having flashbacks, I guess, of Matt and seeing like the images that I guess Balsamon, Ishmael showed him back in Great Hunt, the Dark and
Yeah.
Social, and immediately knows who this is, and like, yeah, we got to stop everything I'm doing now because that was a mission that I
Let's
never
focus.
completed, and here it is. Let's
Mm.
get
In
let's
front
go.
of my face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he gets excited. Like, yeah, I can surf the Dark One well now. And just as that's happening, good old Sammy shows up. So
It's good timing. Fortuitous.
timing.
Well, yeah, but before he shows up, Carradine has this like crazy brain spasm moment.
that's what, where like he has all those flashbacks from like Dark
Yeah.
and Social,
Yeah.
and everything like that. Mhm.
But then there's even stuff that he thinks about that was like after the Dark Friend social. So like I had no idea what was
Sure.
going on at this point.
Yeah, it was a
Feels like
little
more than that.
confusing to me too to listen to it. I was like, I remember some of this, but some of this doesn't seem right. But
Right.
clearly,
Like, why is he seeing a ruby dagger?
yeah,
Yeah, going
What
through
all
his
was-
head or whatever. Just like also,
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Weird. Okay, and then Sammy shows up.
Then Sammy shows up.
Trying to figure out where it was because I liked that description or the layering that was done there, and now I can't find it. What page was it on? Anyway, whatever.
Yep. So good old Samuel, and he wants to know a report on what's going on. And yeah, Karen's like, yeah, nothing. We got nothing. But I found Matt. He's like, Matt doesn't matter right now.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that doesn't matter at all, and you better not disobey me. And then, like, what's the first thing that Carradin's gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's like ruminating. Can I at least hope that it's about what you're here to find from me? So I mean, they all have their objectives. All of the Forsaken, they all have their objectives that they're setting all their pawns on, and they're all sharing a collective group of pawns who all have their own agendas, who are sharing a collective group of pawns who all have their agendas. It's really not a great organizational structure.
Yeah.
Like, I think they need to go back, revisit the org chart, do some restructuring, fire some people, and smooth this out.
Yeah.
Because right now,
And read
there's
like
a lot
a
of
leadership
dysfunction.
book or something.
It
Yeah.
depends on what's the goal. What's the goal of the Dark Friends, though?
What is
what's
your
the goal?
why? What is your why? Like that, you're right. We
Yeah.
need
What
to
is
sit
your
them
why?
down with Simon Sinek, is that how you pronounce it? And,
Yeah.
and
you know?
have him help determine what their why is. Because if everybody knows the why, then you can look at the what, and then you can figure out the how.
Yeah,
But
I
here's
think I know. Every single Dark Friend wants one of two things: immortality or power.
But
Yeah.
what's
So
driving the
best
immortality or
part,
power?
and this is why I want you to join the
That's
dark
the
side.
what. But why?
Well, it's
What-
because the Dark Friend organization, it leaves room for everybody to have and achieve their own goals.
Talk about that.
Whatever
Ron.
you want,
who's
we can
current-
fit that into our business structure, man. It's all
Who all
good.
fills these goals? Like, tell me more. Give me more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to be, the most powerful person, cool. I'll help you achieve that.
Yeah. So the way it works
Totally.
is you start working for me, then you find like 10 of your friends, right?
Yeah.
And then like 10 of your friends.
Yeah.
And then we
Mhm.
all sell like either makeup or like some kind of like weird
Yeah.
gifts.
and,
Tupperware.
and for only
And
a small
Tupperware
upfront
and-
cost,
Yeah.
Right.
you're in.
And you can never move above me.
Multi-level
You're always
marketing
below me. It's kind of like a
Dark Friends.
triangle, not a pyramid. Not a pyramid.
No,
It's
no,
a-
no,
yeah.
no.
It's a-
Imagine the dark
yeah.
one's on top, right? And
Yeah.
good.
Not a pyramid scheme. It's a
No, no,
triangle.
it's a triangle. Yeah. This is 2D, completely 2D.
Right?
So-
Oh man.
That's all she can handle.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, and then we get a little backstory of Carradin, and like, man, as he had it rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I
Well,
mean,
Well, he failed Ishmael because
I'd argue his
Matt's
family's
still
having a rougher
around.
go.
I think his family's having a rougher time than he is because they're
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
by
it's-
like
You
serious
remember that
torture.
sister
Like,
that you
not
love so much?
not just like minor torture, like
yeah.
major serious.
Your sister
terrible
tasted great, I heard.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
what Virgil's told me before he
Like,
fed
I
the
heard,
trollops.
I heard that her skin crackled and popped in like. Why would you continue? Well, I guess you have no choice at that point. You have now given your life over
Oh
to the
yeah.
darkness. Like, you
Mhm.
really don't have a
Not turning
choice.
back.
There's really
Well, he's
not,
like a
but
freaking sociopath because he's like, oh, glad it wasn't me.
Yeah, he's like, oh, that was
Exactly.
my favorite sister. She really liked horses, but good thing I'm
Uh,
still alive.
exactly. So messed up. Hey,
Yeah.
Find what I want is essentially what Samuel roared. I know it's hidden somewhere in this, was it Jacek fly speck of a city? Tarangrel, Angrel, even saw Angrel. I've tracked them, traced them. Now you find them. Do not make me grow impatient. It's an entire city. I mean, I know it's not large, but if it's under the control of somebody else, it's not going to be easy to find.
Mhm.
If it's in the hands of somebody that actually has any real power and knowledge, they're blocking it from anybody else finding it.
Mhm.
or some old woman has it sitting out and she's using it for fruit that's rotting because it's so
Yeah.
hot.
That's actually more
Yeah.
accurate. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
at the end, I bet you, like we passed it on the streets 5 or 10 times, and somebody's using it as like a wash basin or something, and for some
Yeah.
reason this thing keeps filling up with water, so they keep using it. Like every time I come back, it just has water in it. Just keep using it.
I like that. That's really funny.
Yeah. So yeah, and then threatens him as far as like all the torture that he'll get as well if he doesn't find it, which is like, I guess he talks about the guy that removed his legs and moved his fingers and like slowly, like
Uh,
piece by piece, tore apart and kept them alive. And very, very harks back to some of Spanish Inquisition torturing, all sorts of tales that may or not be historically true, but definitely are written histories.
yep.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, and my favorite line is when Samuel's like about to leave and or no, Samuel leaves, Millie starts moving again, and then Carradine is like, nobody survives disobeying the chosen.
Mhm.
And then like the very first thing that he goes to do is tell Millie to go look for Matt, and he's
Yeah.
disobeying the chosen.
right.
But what is that saying? Is somebody still around that we think is gone?
What do you mean?
Is he serving
mean?
2 masters? Is Biazamon like still hanging
Oh.
out somewhere and we just
Ooh.
don't know it?
Mm.
I mean, with these flashes of Matt, it really speaks of a darkness in Matt. Is Matt part of who he is, like Biazamon? Like, I know there's this conversation that Ian and I had back and forth probably a year back, maybe sooner, maybe later, about Matt flipping the script and going to the dark side.
Ooh.
And we still have this ingrained thought, like I root for, we all root for Matt.
Mhm.
Like we don't want him to be evil, but if one of them were to flip to the dark side, I could see it being Matt. Because at the same time, I used to think that the dagger was gonna fully take him over, like it was gonna come back to him in some way, because it has a life of its own,
Right.
and it's gonna manifest itself in him.
Yeah. But you're forgetting that Perrin has yellow eyes, so he must be a dark friend though already.
Mhm.
You're
No,
forgetting
no.
that.
no.
You're not,
Perrin could do
you're
no
not
wrong.
forgetting that. No, he's not forgetting
Perrin
that.
could
He
do no
knows that.
wrong.
He knows that
Perrin
for sure.
Perrin could do
Dear.
no wrong. Perrin is
Perrin
Wolf
can do
brother.
no wrong.
I am a dog person. 100%. I may own 2 cats.
Chris
But that
is
is a
our
facade.
parent. Chris is a giant, and
There always has to be. Yeah, I mean, like, sure, Perrin as a dude, cool. As a
you don't-
character in my fantasy book,
yeah.
pass,
Yeah.
pass.
Parents Wolf brother. Like, ooh, like he can do no wrong. As a matter of
I
fact,
like
he's gonna get
Young
his
Bull. Young
own
Bull
army.
distinctly is better than
Yes.
Perrin. So
He's gonna get his own army of Wolf brother people just to help Rand out. Noam is gonna lead them.
that
Nice. Okay. I like
sounds wild. That sounds wild.
No, I'm telling you, they're coming back.
Like I said, Chris is our
Probably your
parent.
best theory
He's
yet.
our giant blacksmith that just
I
gets
love our
them.
chat. You don't own 2 cats. You live in 2 cats' home. No, I'm the different type of owner. I'm the one that goes against all the rules. I train my cats like they're dogs. It just is what it is. They're gonna obey, and they have taken to it very well. They have.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oscar
Cool.
comes. He sits.
Oh wow.
If he,
Okay.
when he tries to escape, don't you do it, and then he lays flat on his belly and he just sits there and he rolls on his back and he waits for me to come. Now he does this freaking annoying meowing all the time when he wants attention, and then I just put him in the room and give him a timeout. I'm trying not to. At least trying not to do physical discipline, because Chanel does not want the cats to be afraid of me, and it does make you feel bad when you walk in the house and they shoot away. It does make you feel bad. So
Right.
I have worked on that part of my training, and I do other things. So
Our
like,
cats used to sit for treats. I trained all our cats to sit.
yeah, they had 15 commands when we first got them. They just up and forgot those within a few weeks. It was like,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
we're not trying to do all that. And so they've been relearning a lot of them, and they're doing really good. So
If my cat's upset, he'll just disappear for days. He'll show up for food and then disappear again.
like this
He's-
one, I have forced, like, you see where she's at now. She would never do that before, but I have forced her to allow me to hold her. I have forced her to let me put her on her back.
Mm.
And it's all out of love, and she realizes it now. So now she waits for it, and I pick her up, and she knows she's gonna get flipped on her back, and she doesn't fight it. There are no more claws. I don't have any fresh wounds or anything.
So you're nice.
Like,
You do have a knife.
Except-
That's not from a
Exactly.
cat. So
So
See, he didn't want to tell everybody the cat got his finger really bad, and he just made this whole
Oh.
knife story. Just
they're gonna get me in my sleep. Trust me. In 5 years, when I think I've won, I know how they operate.
plotting. Anyways,
That's why she sits so close to me. She's waiting for her opportunity. You see how I look over my shoulder every few minutes.
yeah,
But see, dogs don't do that. Parent
No.
would never do that.
apparently.
okay, good cycle round, good cycle back, and now we're ending this chapter with
Now we're ending
Jared
this chapter,
smooshing
yes.
ants with
Yeah.
his fingers. So
To
Just
prove a
wishing it.
point,
You're an
though.
insect, just like
Yeah.
all these ants I have not cleaned up in my house.
yeah,
Yeah, just
And
like
that's what he's going to
he
do to
is.
Millie if she like doesn't go along
Mhm.
with his plan. So.
right.
Mhm.
This is a very
Which-
toxic relationship.
Yeah,
Now you would
He
think after the way
definitely-
he's being taught, he would treat his employees better.
yeah.
We should whistle blow.
Yeah.
And maybe Perrin will come and help her out because that's what Perrin does. Because he's a
Yeah, I
great guy.
doubt it. Perrin will just think about it for like 3 days and then not show up. That's what Perrin will do. If we're gonna be real.
Are you a touch on the cheek? Chapter 16.
Here we go. That's how
There we
we
go.
That's how we roll.
Go
Okay.
ahead, move it in.
Yeah, and we're in Matt's point of view. That's always
Whoop,
always
whoop.
fun.
My boy.
Yeah.
My boy Matt. Here we go.
Oh, that's why you
Yep.
started dogging
Getting
Perrin.
accosted
Because
by
you're a
Ice
Matt
Guy.
fan. I can't
Yeah,
wait
oh,
for him
yeah.
to go evil and break your heart. I know
Yeah.
you like the bad guys. Brett, what's the worst thing you've done in life?
Brett is actually a Perrin.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much.
Because
so, yeah.
you have to have a
But
dependable
Brett
guy.
would never be a very good fantasy character. So
And neither is Perrin, but he's dependable.
see?
He's lovable.
yes, that is
That's
accurate.
all that
All those
matters.
things are accurate.
Yes.
All
That's
those
why
things can
Perrin's
be
the
true all at
best.
the same time.
Continue.
Okay, but we're in a Matt perspective,
Mhm.
and this is exciting because he's just leaving
Mhm.
from spying on Carradine at this other place.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
And he's going to try to go visit Elaine and Nynaeve a million different ways.
Oh, he's got a message for him, a real important message.
Yeah. And it just cannot get to save his life.
He
And the dice is just going
I love
crazy.
his
gets
assessment of
led
the
down a
soldiers.
jillion hallways by a jillion
He's like,
people.
these soldiers look too good to be real soldiers, but their weapons look too good to not be real soldiers. But I don't know. The people here literally fight for fun. They kill each other as a part-time, like
The way I kind of imagine these uniforms are
Halftime
kind of
army.
like the Swiss Guard at the Vatican or whatever,
Yeah.
where they're like super fancy and they're
Yeah.
like crazy colors, but like they'll mess you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're also crazy colored uniforms.
Exactly. Like I don't know why it crossed through his mind. Probably because he's not a deep thinker like Perrin, that these guys would not be like physically capable of handling business.
Yeah,
Matt
I don't
doesn't
know,
think
man.
Much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do find this whole journey through the palace funny and confusing.
Yeah.
It started to feel nefarious. I was like, what is
Yeah.
going on?
So
We're being
did you have the
passed
feeling
off,
that he
passed
was
off,
being
passed off,
drawn in by dark friends that were hidden
or
in
something crazy, right?
that was
Mhm.
my number one thought was here we go.
right.
He is literally going to get pulled down the hall into a room with a group of dark friends because they've been plotting on these guys the whole time and they don't know it.
Well, and
because
especially because we don't actually know the time jump from last chapter to this chapter, like right now. Like we just
Yeah.
like maybe
Yeah.
it's been like a full day and Matt's been doing other stuff and now he's coming
Exactly.
back to the palace and Carradine and Millie Vanelli have come up with a plan. Like we don't actually know yet.
Or
at this
maybe the
point.
queen is a dark friend and she's trying to stay on the good side of the people in her kingdom.
I'm just trying to imagine how massive this place must be. Like, because the only thing I can think of that would be even similar to I've been to, like the Vatican, maybe.
Yeah.
But like I've been to like the Biltmore Estate, which is the largest house in America, and it's not that confusing. It's a lot of corridors but it's you can find your way around it pretty easily. I've been to castles in Germany. Those are not really that big. But like, how massive is this palace? Like,
there's a great question for
What's
you in
the
the
realism
chat, Danny.
about the hallways that's getting you? That's
yeah.
There's a great question in the chat for you, Danny. Without any spoilers, they're curious how you feel about these chapters, knowing where the next couple of books go.
okay.
No. Seriously, it says don't say anything specific.
Sounds like a trap.
But do you see these scenes differently now?
Yeah, of course.
You can answer that.
Of course. Yeah.
How so? You might not be able to answer that one, but I'll still ask it.
What do you mean, how so? Well, because dark friends be dark friending.
Okay.
Aes Sedai be scheming.
True.
All of this matters. Everything matters. It's the wheel of time. Of course. You got to take note of everything.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So we got Matt going through the hallways, like you guys said. He's being led on and led on. And it's like, follow this person, follow that person, come with this person. Why couldn't it just be, they're not here? Can we take a message?
Well, they're all trying to fight over him too. The Aes Sedai are all trying to.
I know, but he hadn't even made it to the Aes Sedai. He has to go through like 15 people.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for two Aes Sedai. Oh, conveniently, two Aes Sedai are right here.
I wonder how much they paid the servants to like make sure he landed there. How much is Matt really worth?
Yeah.
Right. Good question. So this is Jolene and Tesla, or Teslin, but I remember her name because it sounds like Tesla, and I remember Jolene because of the song Jolene. You know?
Jolene.
Okay.
So then that's how I remember who these people are. Now, that's the one. Now, Chris, do you remember who these people are?
I don't know names.
Any facts about Teslin and Jolene? Because we've met them before.
Yeah.
Aren't they dark friends? No.
Well, not
everybody's a dark
right
friend.
now, no.
Everybody's a dark friend for me.
Everyone's dark friends.
It is probably smart to operate that way, but
they were in the, I mean, just from reading the chapter, I remember that they pretty much pissed off the Armelin and got sent to here, but I don't.
It's pretty fun. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
They're the tower.
They disposed. Right? Yeah, they're tower side. They were with Elida and deposed.
Yep, Elida was like, "You just go out there, serve there." You're in the way.
Teslin was a sitter. She was a red sitter in the hall, and Elida brought her down, which is important because I don't think that Teslin likes that very much. Because we get later that Jolene and Teslin have a little bit of a conversation about whether or not they should even care about Elida and her wishes.
Of course they do. They're Aes Sedai.
What do you think about White Tower Aes Sedai and Elaine and Nynaeve all being in the same city?
Yeah, I think that Nynaeve and Elaine can't get no respect.
Yeah.
I think that
just
nobody
the danger of, I mean,
it's a barrel of gunpowder waiting to be lit. Like that's what I feel about it, but I also realize that they are in a very hostile situation where one wrong move could literally get them shanked.
But like, how are they like? Actually, you think they're just gonna get?
Well, see if you file down like a tooth.
No,
quite literally, like yeah, we're
then you gotta get close to them.
Push the queen will just step up in their face and just chink chink
chink. Take a toothbrush, right? That's not in jail.
That's all you need is a toothbrush. And
well, from what I've seen from it, I don't know if you know this, but I've never actually been. But from TV, that's
to prison. You've never been to prison.
No,
Thanks
but I
for
imagine
clarifying
that's how
that
you
for
would
us.
do it in a movie or something.
I've seen it confirmed. I've even seen it with a razor blade put on the end. Like,
well, in Skyrim, when you get to the Marketh, you have to go to jail and make a shank, and it's.
Welcome to the Wheel of Reed.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if we've ever talked about shanks on our podcast.
If you
who's to say? I can't remember everything I've ever said.
Die, you have found to Matt got played big time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he's like feeling for his silver fox. He's like, oh, it's still there. But those Aes Sedai that know he has it have found their workarounds, which I think is really crappy of them to use him as a test
Well, they
subject.
just like can literally conk him on the head.
Yeah, just
Mhm.
throw something
They
at him
could
with
just, like-
one power
Just literally conk him on the head with frying pan.
and call it
and-
a day.
Because who was it? Adelius or Van Dien who like tested the theory by just like throwing horse poop at him,
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
and it worked.
it's a good plan, good strategy, right?
Yeah. And I guess finally, after they're arguing, I guess Lauren, one of the servants for Tylin, or no, so it's Lauren's his son, right? So he's,
Yes.
yes.
Yep.
Summons him to see Tylin.
But okay.
We have a
That's hiring
whole
servant.
like
First-
First, there's a whole like
Sorry.
tug of war of
there
that.
is a
Yes,
tug of
sorry,
war.
I skipped over that in my notes. Yeah,
I was like, whoa,
No.
whoa, that's a
Yeah.
really funny part.
yes, the tug of war.
They
Sorry, I
literally
just
grab onto him
start the tug of war.
because some of the rebellious Aes Sedai are like grabbing him on this side. They show up and they're like, whoa.
I mean, you
we
got
want this
Tavirin
guy.
to be said with dangerous associations of your own that do be more than hearsay.
Some
So-
idiotic talk.
Nice.
Yes, it's really interesting that they're paying that much close attention to Master Coffin, as they like to point out. You know, you're parading around as a lord. You've got your own little band. You're running around with the crazies, and you could use some protection, and we can offer that for you. We could even take you back to the tower. You have some unfinished business there. In his mind, it's wheeling. He's like, do they know about the horn? Do they know I blew that? Like, how much do they know about the dagger? Like, how much do they really know about me? And Matt's always put in these predicaments, and he always likes to blame it on Rand. But I think it's just as much his own fault. Like, you are just who you are. And,
Yeah.
like, whether or not you really want to gamble with your own future, something innate within you is like, let's go. Let's figure it out. Let's roll the die.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's quite funny to the whole like tug of war pulling them back and forth. It really does feel like this like comedic relief scene in this kind of really scary position for Matt, actually. Like he doesn't know.
No,
he
it's
doesn't
not
trust Aes Sedai,
scary.
he doesn't know their
That's like,
intentions.
hey, there's plenty of me to go around. You gotta
Yeah.
tear off
You
my
just-
coat.
okay,
Watch
just
that.
get your hands off
Come
the
on,
jacket.
ladies.
It's real silk.
I love the way he handled it. He really did try to like smooth talk his way out, and they didn't hear him at all.
No, and he tries
that
like with
point-
his best smile and all that, not working, Matt.
just like other people to take men for granted and just use them as a tool and just
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sure.
Does that happen a lot in your life? Is that
Carry
Oh,
this,
man.
pick up that, move this. Can you get that off the top shelf? That's a
Well, when
hard
you're,
life.
I don't have that problem. I'm not 6'8" and can bench press 1,000 pounds. So
fair?
Chris
fair,
literally
fair.
competes in Highland competitions, like lifts like giant stones up, and like that's what he does. Like,
Oh yeah. Do you do like the log toss? Do you throw like the?
The caber is the only thing I have not done.
Okay.
you do
Ooh.
the stones though, right? You did the
I lifted the stones. I've tossed stones.
What about
to
the big
distance.
tires? Big tires?
Not in Highland, but I've done it.
Oh,
in
I guess that would
college.
be.
I don't know enough
Yeah.
about Highland to. Is there one
No.
of these things with the? No, that's just
The
like
ropes and
cross-
stuff.
just
No, that's
working
just,
out.
that's
Yeah.
training. Yeah,
That's just working out.
I've done it.
I don't
Yes,
know.
I
Brett
have
doesn't
done
know
it.
anything about that.
I've moved 500-pound tires, and it's all fun,
Ooh.
enjoyable.
Yeah, me too. Mhm.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, yeah,
Track
all
the
the time.
tire, just flip it.
Just flip it.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel like Matt
I
feels
honestly
like
say
that.
I can't relate to that at all.
Can't relate.
I don't know.
it's fine. Neither can I. I mean, it's funny because I think the first time Ian and Chris, like Ian's like 5'7", and Chris, how tall? Like 6'6".
6'6".
6'6".
No.
I have almost an entire foot on Ian.
Yeah,
So,
it's the first time they met. I was just like, oh hi.
but Ian's a man. He's a manly man. So
Yeah.
That's funny.
his beard is much.
All right.
cooler
Well,
than
with Matt here, he's about to be saved, and he thinks that this servant is pretty cool and pretty sneaky. Hey, thanks, lady. I bet the queen doesn't actually need to see me. Like, see you later. He thinks he's just like being rescued from this situation
Yeah.
somehow, and she's like, no,
No.
you gotta actually go see the queen.
Yeah. And cue Simon and Garfunkel. Hello, Mrs. Robinson.
Yeah,
Jesus loves you more.
yeah.
Before we go that far, I love the back and forth, and we've kind of glazed over, but the back and forth between the two different groups of Aes Sedai,
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
and how the one group is like, understand that we don't want to offend Tylin, or else we would keep you all confined and let you live only on bread and water until you return to the tower. And like, we intend on returning you to the tower because you belong at the tower. And some of the women on the other side is like, we literally brought you up to where you are. Like, we were your teachers. Like, what makes you think you have the ability to put us in our place? Like, that's going to be our job to
Plus
you.
it's 2 on 7, right? Like
Yeah,
it's Teslin and Jolene, and there's like 7 of the rebels here.
Yeah.
correct.
So good luck. Are you gonna force us? Like, is it gonna come to that?
And they including Elaine and Nynaeve in this, like, y'all
They
aren't
don't
powerful
include
enough.
Nynaeve and
Well,
Elaine.
it's the 5 plus.
Yeah,
90
5
Elaine.
plus
Yeah,
the
yeah,
two,
yeah. No,
like,
no. They
that's
don't
the
count
5
them as
plus
Aes
the
Sedai.
two.
So
Like, if we need to count them, then what really can you do to us?
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
like the balls on those two, because they really were going to go at, or the vagina, I should say. They vaginaed up for real. They were going to go at it. And I really think that it's the attitude that they have towards this situation is just quite interesting. And it really makes me wonder, like, what would they have done with Matt? What would they have done when they found out that their powers don't work on Matt? How much time would they have had to explore before he diced them up? Would he have done anything about it? Like, I really would like for the other 5 to not have shown up, just so they can antagonize Matt just a little bit more. But
interesting. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
because Matt's going to be evil at some point. Why not start now?
I agree.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Can you confirm it?
I think it's the best theory you've ever had.
Perfect. Now let's discuss my theory about Tom Maryland riding in on a unicorn
Mhm.
with
It's airtight logic,
it's
but-
accurate except for the fact that the unicorn is actually a spaceship and he goes to the moon. So
I like that too.
makes
That's
much
Do
more
not-
sense.
that's
So-
actually.
Hey, spoilers, guys. Spoilers.
Oh, sorry.
So we're saying that our friend, oh man, her name just left my mind that fast.
Yep, she's
Which
dead.
one?
That's why. It doesn't
No,
matter.
who am I talking about?
I
Our
know you're
blue
talking about
sister.
Moraine.
Moraine. Is
You
she
forgot
trapped on the
Moraine's
moon?
name?
Hey, it's been a very, it's been like a year since we've had Moraine in our life.
You can't forget Moraine.
Why not?
Don't you dare.
Don't forget her. Why shouldn't we forget her?
She's right
She's
down the wall.
Lovely.
She's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Is she trapped on the moon? Because my theory
Yeah,
is that she and
actually,
Tom end
I
up
actually,
together.
that's actually a really good theory. I actually agree with that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like
The
that.
moon. The moon.
Because my
Yeah.
idea is that her and Tom end up riding in together on a white unicorn
Mm.
because they're secretly
That's the
lovers.
unicorn.
Secret
Yeah, I think that
lovers.
I have the same. I think it was pretty. Yeah,
Basically the same theory.
it's basically the same theory.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have a unicorn in there, but it's basically the same.
It's-
The unicorn's always been there for Chris. Like that's
Yeah,
one of
you
his
gotta have
early
that
theories.
imagination.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, like, why the hell not? Like, we're in a fantasy series. Why can't I have a unicorn?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Give me
he
one.
gets it from one of these other worlds.
Maybe, yeah, another word.
It's a
Exactly.
unicorn.
Like, we
it's a
already
unicorn
saw.
dragon.
Well, we
Yeah.
already saw the Shanshan have tons of weirdo creatures.
He's
Why
Tom
can't
the White,
Frog
so-
cat thing.
Yeah, but you know what also could be like crazy is a horse with a horn.
That's not that
Yeah.
crazy.
It's called a rhino.
Maybe it
He just
also
has wings.
Maybe it's a Pegasus.
Oh yeah.
A Pegasus don't typically have horns.
No, but
though?
that's what I'm saying. It's a
It has to be a
Pegasus.
He's a
unicorn.
unicorn that can
Pegasus
fly, so he's
Unisys.
got to have wings.
Unisys.
Pegacorn.
Yeah.
Nope.
That
That's
sounds
wor-
worse.
that's worse.
That's
Ah,
worse.
that
name.
doesn't sound good.
Pegacorn. I'll never forget that name.
Pegacorn. Hashtag. That's a good one. Pegacorn.
Yeah.
Pegacorn, go! I've been playing Pokemon again, so that's the next one.
So we meet Tylin.
Nabacornal
Oh yeah.
evolves into
Mhm.
Pegacorn.
Yes, we do. We're
we
gonna
meet
arrive
Tylin.
and meet Tylin.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep. So Chris, what's your initial thoughts about Tylin?
Wow.
Okay.
Ugh.
I don't make great cat sounds,
No,
but she's
I'm not-
clearly
no,
a
no.
cougar.
Just gross. Okay.
Cougar. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, why not?
Because
I
it's
lo-
incredibly uncomfortable and Matt clearly doesn't want it to be happening.
Well, he looks at her and he's like, she's not beautiful, but she's not ugly. She's handsome.
But he tries to escape.
And
He
she's got
really
great
doesn't
bosom.
want this.
No, in the beginning, no. Now let's dissect this. Let me pull my book back out. Because in the beginning, he couldn't help but seeing what he's seeing and going, I really shouldn't be looking at a queen this way. I probably could get a lot of trouble for looking at a queen this way, but she wears clothes that are not befitting of a queen, and she clearly wants the attention. She's not ugly, but she's not beautiful. She's just handsome.
Mm-hmm.
That means there's interest.
Hmm.
There is. There's a little bit of interest there. She piqued his
I
interest.
would
Piqued his-
say that you can find someone objectively attractive and then feel uncomfortable about their advances.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. No, I completely agree with you. In the initial moment when he entered the room, he was there.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was too strong of a woman for him. And he had to back off. Because she made the initial like act or move. He wasn't down for that. He's like, nah,
Okay.
you're too forceful. He just couldn't handle it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I think that what she did made him uncomfortable. I don't think that he enjoyed it. He didn't like it, and she clearly didn't stop when he wasn't into it, so that made him even more uncomfortable.
You would never hear him singing Juvenile. That's all I'm gonna say.
He would never what?
Never mind.
Okay. I just-
You say juvenile?
Yeah.
The rapper? Like
Yeah.
back that ass up?
Yes, exactly. Thank you. You got it.
I missed it. I didn't get the reference.
It's okay. It was really
Nin-
for Alex.
1999
It's
rap
1990
song?
music.
Yikes.
It was quite literally for Alan.
It's okay.
No, but I definitely agree with you. Like she was too forceful. She made moves that advances that she shouldn't have. There again, this is that moment where I was like, I knew it. She's a dark friend.
Yes.
She let
This
me
does make her
down.
very untrustworthy for sure.
She let me down because I thought she was gonna like the dice are rolling in his head. We haven't talked about that the whole time.
Right.
We're
They're
now
still
in a-
going. They're still going the
Yeah.
whole time.
Another chapter where dice are rolling.
They keep
He's
rolling,
in there with
rolling, rolling,
her.
rolling.
I do not. Yep,
I
there we
can
go.
quote
See?
things from like 1999 too. It's Limp Bizkit.
I love Limp Bizkit. But I thought she's gonna I thought this is the moment where he gets shanked. Like I thought I really did in my heart of hearts.
Oh
think
yes, that's a
Matt-
really good theory, actually.
Or like when she starts stroking his face, I thought maybe she
A
had
touch of
like
the cheek.
yeah, I thought maybe she had like poison on her nails or something. And she was
Ooh.
like seducing
Super
and then he was gonna
nefarious,
drop
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I did. Like I was hoping for that because I need some adventure. I need some
It needs
drama.
to something interesting needs to happen.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
And then the interesting thing is her son walking in and like catching her in the not even catching her in the act. She saw him come in from a mile away in the mirror And this is after, of course, Matt tries his hand at writing a cryptic letter. She's watching the whole thing.
It's
He
not very
admits to
cryptic.
her,
It's like, hey, Nynaeve and Elaine, you guys are idiots and always get yourself into trouble, and I'm here to help you.
Yeah,
mean-
yeah.
And then he straight up says, Jacob Carradine is here. He's with a known dark friend. Watch out.
yeah.
That's not
again,
Harry-
he's no parent. He doesn't have the brains to think through a cryptic letter.
What do you think about?
So
What do you think about Tylin's reaction to that?
you walked
Like,
into that. I just want you to know. I've been waiting.
when he brings up the whole Jacob Carradine thing, being a dark friend, like her reaction, it's like she makes a face.
She's
and then
like,
goes,
you figured that out now? That's why I'm like, she's got to be a dark friend. Like there's something way shady about her, or
Yeah.
she knows
Uh,
and she's decided not to address it because it's just safer for her.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
a couple of chapters ago. We had Nynaeve and Elaine talking to Tylin about the fact that Jacob Carradine's here and he's a general dick. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
she's aware
she's
of
like,
his
eh.
dickishness.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's just safer for her to have white cloaks in the street, even if they're a front.
Yeah,
They're not impacting her negatively. It's actually helping to keep all the trouble down in her city for the most part.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
No, and
It's
I
a
think that's
win-win.
totally fair. I thought the exact same thing. I was like, this chick's up to no good, super
Yeah.
nefarious, hater. She can die for all I care.
I was 50-50 on her when Nynaeve and
Yes.
and
seemed to
Elaine
be a
talked
good
to her
movie.
about it.
Mhm.
And then coming into this chapter and the way he was led deeper and deeper into the castle and
It
the
was
the
weird,
way
right?
he was talked to, and then like the Aes Sedai threw me off a little bit, but I was thinking that
That's
Jordan,
just like a
yeah,
throwaway.
I
Mhm.
thought Jordan was just kind of pulling me into this moment where bam, Matt gets captured the same way Rand got captured, but worse. Or
Ooh.
like I really thought this was a catalyst moment.
Yeah, and especially what the Aes Sedai were talking about seemed a little foreshadowy.
Yeah.
especially since Matt almost gets dragged out in a box right away.
Well,
Mhm.
In the next
really
chapter. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
so it's like
Hmm.
I was
it.
disappointed. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was disappointed.
Fair.
It's not like I want anything
Lot of
bad to
setup.
happen to Matt, but he built it up a whole lot just for the son to walk
Just
in
to
the
be
room.
like, here's my son. He's your
Yeah.
new best friend. To
Yeah,
go
he-
hit
But
the
then it
club
makes
with.
it begs the question, like, Jordan, did he have kids?
Yeah.
That's a
No.
legitimate
No.
question. No.
Not his
No.
own.
So he
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
even have that
Harry
experience.
has
So like
Yeah.
getting in the mode and being in the moment, and then boom, a kid walks in. So I can't even blame it on that. Let's say maybe he just had some frustrations that he wanted Matt to fill it too, or not Matt, but Tyler, whatever her name is. The
Yeah,
queen.
but then she doesn't even really seem to hide it very much. And
Oh,
he's
not
like,
at all.
"Oh, mom, are you choosing a new pretty?" And she's like, "What? Me? No."
Never. It's
super
part of
weird.
their culture though. So that's the
I
thing with
know.
that. It's just culturally acceptable to
Yeah.
plunder whatever and whatever booty you want.
Just
You know,
to
take
come
the
back
treasure.
also just from killing someone, just nonchalant, like, yeah, I killed him. What's going on? How you doing,
But it was
Mom?
an accident. Like
It was an
he
accident. I didn't mean
he
to
tripped
kill him.
into the kill. Like he really went for the shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
not his fault.
Now
I
he's-
guess I have to
now
go
he's either gotta-
apologize to his widow. There goes my Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, pay or else you're gonna have to pay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So the whole Ebou Dar culture and world building, like it's really, we're getting a good sense of it at this point,
mhm.
and it's not great.
Now I'm wondering if this is where Matt meets his woman. Like now he's got to go traveling around to all these different parties, and he's got to be engaged in Ebou Dar culture.
What woman is
and-
that?
The
Oh,
daughter
he
of
meets-
Nine-Moons.
Yeah, daughter of the Nine.
I
We've
wanted him
heard
to
that.
say it.
Oh, sorry. We've talked about it a bunch of times.
Obviously, I know you
Yeah,
know, and I know.
Yeah, but we've talked about it a bunch of times.
We've talked about it. We don't know who she is.
I
We
know,
have
but I
our
don't know his
assumptions
take on
she's
it.
a
Oh, yeah.
Shan queen or whatever, or princess, or you
Mhm.
know, in the court or whatever. Why she would be here in Ebou Dar, I don't know, but maybe there's some deeper connection here. I I'm tired of getting nuggets and not
Yep.
getting like fed the whole meal.
Yeah.
Like I'm a 20-piece kind of
Breadcrumbs.
guy, not a 4.
Breadcrumbs. Mhm.
Yeah. I don't do breadcrumbs real well. It just makes me
2
angry.
books in the series. There's a lot of crumbs. I'm sorry.
Mhm, mhm.
We've been doing this for over 6 years now. So
We have not been doing that long.
it feels that way.
Yeah, when people ask me about, reading books this way, I don't recommend it.
How many chapters are y'all doing on average a week?
A week? Well, it depends because it depends how much we have pre-recorded and set up. Because we tend to have a bit of a buffer where we have a couple episodes recorded, ready to
y'all are
go.
good.
But
That's
we
Alan's wet
typically
dream.
do 2 chapters an episode,
Yeah, and
and then we typically release
1.5 per week on average.
But
yeah.
Okay.
they live together, so they can just record it whenever. Like
That's true.
it's like herding cats to get you guys to do like one night a week.
One episode. Yeah, it really is. Like
Yeah, because when we're pressing, we probably actually record twice a week, at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, and release about 6 episodes a month.
I can check the time.
Just for fun, just so that I can read more is really because we were going slower at the beginning, and then we bumped it up just so that I can read faster because I was getting frustrated.
I honestly like our pace because it lets me do more and I can actually get it done. But
Yeah,
I can, they released it on 14 chapters a month.
Do we? Is that what that works out to be? I've never done the math.
6 to 7 episodes, roughly 2 per episode.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean we're not too far behind y'all. It's not a competition or anything, not at all.
No, never is. But yeah, sorry. Do you want to pick the speed? We can. I can record more nights.
Nope.
I have started actually upping the speed as far as these.
Well, yeah, there's 3 chapters here tonight, so
yeah. Trying to ramp it up a little bit here and there. Yep. Sometimes we do 2, sometimes we do 3. We've done 4, I think, once. But yeah, that's
we dive a little bit deeper too into each chapter. Just like our style and setup is we'll go through like each plot point. And so like I can't imagine doing more than 2 chapters an episode. It would just
if they're short chapters or nothing happens. I mean, there's those bridge chapters where there's not a whole lot.
Yeah. Logically speaking, we do things in a good method.
Yeah. Well, you gotta do what's good for like your podcast and your style, and
with 3 people, and it's like different families. Like it's a completely different situation.
We don't have a style. We just get on here and wing it. Winging it is our style.
But speaking of logic,
we don't have no rules.
Chapter 17, A Triumph of Logic.
Matt stalked out of the palace where Tylin finally let him go, and he had the thought it would do anything good, he would have run. The skin between his shoulder blades pricked so he almost forgot the dice dancing in his head. The worst moment, the very worst of a dozen bad, had been when Beslin teased his mother, saying that she would find herself a pretty for the balls, and Tylin laughed, claimed a queen had no time for young men, all the while looking at Matt with those bloody eagle's eyes. Matt's trapped.
So he didn't like it.
No. But I mean, let's be fair. Matt's worked his way around a few taverns, and he's scoping out people all the time. So he kind of got a little bit of his own medicine. I mean, and I love Matt. Don't get me wrong. I really do. I'm giving him a hard time because I can tell you
what we do know about Matt and the women that he pursues or whatever. I think the women are also into it.
It's an equal. Yeah, I'm messing around. I shouldn't do it that way, but.
Yeah.
So Matt's bothered and he walks into the common room of the wandering woman and he's just like ready to relax.
Yeah.
And this is where I really do feel for Matt because there never seems to be any chill for him.
Nope.
He has got it hard. I will say that. How
do you be a Taviran and chill? It's just sorry, bud.
Yeah.
Perrin finds time to chill.
He certainly does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He does. He gets a lot of downtime. Then we went whole books without hearing from Perrin. He was sitting back
That was
in
my
the Two
favorite book. Fires
Rivers.
of Heaven is my favorite book.
Oh,
It
man.
was
Still.
torture. but we know Perrin was sitting back and he was sitting back, having a drink with his wife, enjoying the married life.
I don't know. I don't think
I
he
wrote
was
my
enjoying
own.
himself very much.
I wrote
in the
my
Two
own
Rivers.
chapter. He was becoming a lord. He had people coming
He
kissing
hated
his
that.
ring.
We
Exactly,
had a
but
whole
he was
thing
still
going for a
chilling.
while with our chat during Fires of Heaven where people would just say Parent who? Parent
Yeah.
who? Chris gets so upset. It's like, who are you talking about? It's not a character.
I started to develop my own narrative. I created my own Matt chapters. The
Yeah.
Adventures of Matt in the Two Rivers. As
Parent.
he's becoming Lord Perrin. Sorry, I did say Matt.
Anyways, yeah.
Sorry,
So he gets some
chapters
Wonder
about
Woman,
Matt.
wants to go chill, goes upstairs, and boom. Yeah, that's just.
That scene was crazy. Like I completely got
Mhm.
caught up in the whole huh? Is he really being attacked already? Like I was
Here's the
upset
action.
for him.
You wanted the action?
Yeah.
Here it is. This
It's the wrong kind of action. Like I knew like
is the same kind of action you're hoping for.
different
Matt's getting
action.
attacked.
Different action. I expected there to be Matt always gets attacked. So an attack is not going to bring, let's just be real. Matt is not going to be brought down by an attack
No.
because those dice rolling give him the warning. And then he miraculously, luckily, let's use
I'm
the
pretty
right
sure
word.
the dice are still rolling. They don't stop for this attack.
That's what I'm saying. They don't, which means he's going to get attacked again. Like there's no surprise there. Like it's going to happen. You don't have to be a
If the
genius
fire
to
alarm's
figure that
always
out.
going. It doesn't really help indicate when there's a fire.
But like, no, but see, they're not always going. Like they didn't start till he was like gambling. And he was like, maybe this is related to the gambling. Then he sees the woman with the white hat, and he's like, oh, she tried to stab me. Boom, there's a clear indication the dice start rolling whenever he's about to get stabbed, shanked, whatever word we want to use. And then, he's like, dice are still rolling. He goes in there with the queen, and he this is that moment where I was like, something different's going to happen to Matt. This is going to be the moment he actually gets caught. Nope. He just gets stabbed in the heart. Like he gets emotionally abused. And this is one thing he doesn't escape. And he comes out beaten and broken, but he's not lost. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to go home. I'm just going to get a nap, recuperate a little bit. And then he almost gets shanked again. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true.
somebody just needs to slip him some poison and knock him out. Like, that's how they're going to capture Matt. It's not going to be in a battle because he just gets too lucky.
That's true. That's his superpower.
It is.
Literally. It's luck.
Yeah.
No one's just going to take Matt down.
But it's going to be some woman that he either doesn't want to bet or he is betting. And she's just going to kiss him and she's got poison on her lips or something that's going to knock him out. And he's going to wake up and he's going to
that's for sure how you would take out Matt. However,
Melindra tried and she failed.
Melindra tried.
Yeah.
She failed.
That's why Matt's going to become an evil one, because he survives too much stuff. He's like, you know what? If you can't beat him, join him.
Plot device for him to just be lucky, but it's the plot device, and he's lucky.
That's why he's got the best superpower.
He's going to
and
survive.
That's why he's gonna make the best bad guy.
Got the best one.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the one to bring Rand down.
Whoa. That's an intense prediction. Bring Rand down? I thought we needed him.
I mean, I feel like we're gonna have a big conundrum, and Rand and Matt just aren't gonna see eye to eye at some point. Matt's just gonna finally get to storm off and become evil.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm picking up on Ian's vibe since he's not here.
Yeah, gotta fill in the Ian gap. I get it.
So when you make a bad prediction, you're just gonna blame Ian now. He's not here. I got it.
That was Ian's fault that I didn't get that.
Ian called me earlier. This was his thing.
This is his thing. Totally his thing.
I'm also gonna start blaming my bad predictions on Ian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
there
would.
you go.
Please
also
do. Every time you do it, just put a hashtag Ian.
This was an Ian prediction.
Hashtag Ian's fault.
My predictions are always right, and I think I'm wrong. It's Ian.
Ian.
So yeah, so double attacks back to back. Some fun. I thought it was fun action. I guess Chris disagrees.
No, I love the action. It was just hilarious. Like he walks in, like he's upset. Like really, they dropped off my treasure and then nobody's protecting it. And
Which is fair.
boys
Like I would also be
upstairs.
upset. He just won
Yeah.
a bunch of money at the horse races or whatever, and now it's just like sitting in his
Sitting
room
there.
unprotected. What is this?
Yeah.
Guard
and
the
that's
money. Come
bad.
on,
And
guys.
then the boys upstairs, and he's not being protected either. It's like, what is my band doing?
Yes. What are they doing? Getting into fights and keeping it from him?
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
that was the other thing. He walks in there, the older guys patching up the younger guys, and nobody there calls him Lord because they know what the deal is. Just like, we travel with you because you always win your battles. We like you because you're lucky enough to always win your battles.
Yep.
You keep us alive. You feed us. They're like dogs.
Okay.
know?
Yeah.
There's a running narrative here. I think Jordan was a dog guy.
As the cat gets up and
yeah.
saunters behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after this, he finds a notice pocket too. After everything, so even
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I just have to know. For me, at this point, after the attack,
Yeah.
Matt sees Narum, like his manservant guy,
Yep.
holding a frying pan
Behind
there,
his back though.
but he's like
Yeah.
hiding it behind his back, and I was like, "Hold on,
Was that
this guy
for-
coming to
Yep.
help Matt, or was
Mm-mm.
he coming
To
to
hurt
hurt
Matt.
Matt?" And so I got super shifty vibes right away from this guy. I was like,
I
"What's
did
going
too.
on here?"
And I kind of I took it two ways. So I had the first thought was that exact thought. Was he coming to help the attackers for more than one reason? He's tired of cleaning up after Matt, quite literally.
Well, he's like,
Tired of cleaning up.
bloodstains again? You know how hard
Yeah.
those are to get out?
He's like, you're a pig, and I'm the one that has to take care of it. So a disgruntled employee is a thing. So like there was that moment, like he was like, you know what, you're worth a lot of money, dead, and I don't have to do as much work. So maybe this is my way out. And the second thought was that point of embarrassment, like I came to a sword fight with a pan.
Right.
So I don't know where I'm at with him, but
Yeah,
the
he
fact
got
that the
put on
die
my
are still
suspicious
rolling,
list for sure.
but he's also somebody that could have already slipped Matt something at any point in time, or he's been close enough
Waiting
to him.
for his moment.
He's
Yeah.
protecting his employer too, right? Like Matt's the guy.
I
who
know
pays him.
you're taking the side of like
Of
he came
course.
to help.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm with you. I question his motives.
Good
Great.
thinking.
I'm with Brett. I think it's just embarrassed. Bring frying pan
Like,
to a sword
yeah.
fight.
Well, that's
Yeah.
Mistress Luhan's weapon of choice.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
The frying-
he's not a blacksmith's wife.
Yeah.
It's like Matt literally almost passes out in all of this. He's like, again, luckily he jerks the knives free and he's thrusting and he's attacking, and like Matt's the man when it comes to scoring big with the hits.
Yeah, he's good at that like close quarter fighting, but it's also
Yeah.
really funny too because like afterwards, he looks at the chest that they brought in here and he's like, "Whoa, that could fit roughly one Matt-sized person. They must
Yeah.
have been trying to take a lot of my stuff." It's like, no,
No,
man.
Matt. I
They're
didn't know.
probably gonna try and put
Yeah,
you in that
I
box.
didn't know if at this point Matt was being intentionally.
No, he does. He has no idea that
Yeah.
that he has
Or
no
is he
idea
just,
that
like,
he's been noticed.
trying to convince himself, or is he actually just being that incompetent?
He
you know?
has, but no, I get that. I had the same thought initially too. I was like, really, Matt?
Like,
But
he
then
really-
I thought about
like,
it.
Oh, that's
We
weird. I
know,
guess they wanted my gold.
we know so much more about the situation than Matt because we're omnipotent, omnipresent with the reader, and we're seeing all these different perspectives. Matt doesn't know that he's been noticed. Matt doesn't realize that he's in any real danger. So I think not having the thought of, is that for a person, is kind of dumb on Matt's part. But at
Yeah.
the same
And not
time,
just
he's,
a person like me.
yeah.
Are they coming for me?
And you would think with the dice rolling, he would have that imminent like realization of, oh, I'm in danger here and I can't get out of it.
It's like that
But
Ralph Wiggum meme. I'm in
Yeah.
danger.
but he's not pairing, so it's okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Well, anyway, we get some interesting information on these people who took the room next to Matt, and they were really looking for him,
Yeah,
not
no,
just
they're-
to steal from him.
Yeah. I mean, he's got dark friends looking for him now.
Yeah.
It's like that's a thing.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
But as there's a room full of people all talking about this crazy commotion, Matt feels in his jacket. And he feels something. And then for me, if I have like a weird secret note in my pocket that someone has clearly slipped to me, I'm not just going to take it out and read it in the middle of a room full of people.
That's only because you've watched enough like Big Brother and Survivor and stuff to
Oh.
like that you don't read the note in front of people.
Is that
That's
why
why,
I know
yeah.
that? But Matt doesn't know that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like in real life, you just like read the note.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And he suspects it's from the Aes Sedai sisters. He figures it's either Jolene or Tylin.
Yes.
But who do you is that what you think, Chris?
You know, it could be from one of the Tower Aes Sedai.
Mhm.
That's what I'm
is
saying, yeah.
there.
Yeah.
There were a
well,
lot of people with hands on Matt.
Mhm.
Yeah,
The
I
whole
mean,
tug of war.
we had the Aes Sedai that were from, the Little Tower, but it could be people from the White Tower, the one that was, up close and personal with him. Maybe she's one of the spies that was sent in and they got moved. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
This whole
You know
thing,
who
I
else
mean,
was really up close and personal with Matt?
who else?
Tesla. No, what's her name?
Tylin.
Tylin.
Tylin. Yeah, that's very
Mm.
true.
And like we have the unreliable narrator perspective of Matt thinking it's Jolene or Tesla, and like maybe we should just be thinking the same thing as Matt, but there's lots of people with hands near Matt today.
Yeah, her hands were primarily on his face, but that doesn't mean that they didn't slide down
Yeah.
and slide him a note. I
I
mean,
mean, you could also have the
it's-
rebel Aes Sedai wanting Nynaeve and Elaine to like back off a little bit because they're
Yeah.
Yeah.
stepping up too.
Yeah. Because the note
Yeah.
said something about Nynaeve and Elaine need to watch out
They need
because
to back
Elaine's
off.
going to get
Elaine
him.
and
Or
Nynaeve
Alana's
are
gonna get
pushing
him.
too far.
Yeah.
Remind them that they are still in danger from the tower. Warn them to be careful, or they will be kneeling to ask Elidas pardon yet.
Like who
No
cares so much
signature
about-
and still in danger. That is implying that somebody realizes that they've been in danger this whole time.
Right.
This is one of those that I didn't really give it much thought. I'm like, all right, so we've had a lot of people in his face. We've had some people with magic around. We'll find out in 2 books. And I left it at that.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
Yep. And after all
Well,
this,
that's
the dice
always
is
my
still-
response too about most things is
Yeah.
like, I don't know, I'll probably find out in 5 books from now.
For me, it's always been book 13.
Ah,
all the
That or
answers
never,
are
right? Like never is an
yeah.
option
Except
too.
it's finally caught up with me because I made some predictions randomly for book 9 and I just finished book 9 and I was like, oh, I can't say that anymore.
That's why you go for 13.
You got to go 13. I would never.
Yeah.
I hate 13. I hate that number. I hate that number so much. So I can't say it.
It was 5 until I got to 4, then I changed it to 13.
I'll probably go with 12 from now on.
Okay.
11 or 12.
Fair.
Yeah.
12's good.
12's
Yeah. After all this, despite everything, the dice is still rolling in Matt's head, and that's how we end this point of view. So,
Which was Ian's message to us. Only a dark friend will leave us at a point where the dice were still rolling.
Yeah,
Ian's the Matt fan here, so
yeah, Ian's a big Matt fan, so he was upset that we didn't get to hear more. From him.
Ah, yeah. Well, I
I
was
hope
here.
we go the next book and a half without hearing from Matt.
That would be so boring. Matt is one of the most interesting characters. He's always
I'm
up to something.
kidding. Totally kidding. I really am.
So,
At this point,
over
Matt is more. I am more invested in Matt than I am at Rand at this point because Rand is barely a character.
barely
Rand
a character at
is
this point.
nuts.
Yeah,
He is
Yeah,
going
Rand's-
bananas.
Rand's not really been much in this, at least in this book. I mean, well, he
No.
just got back from Do Might As Well. So I mean, come on, he kind of
Oh, right.
Yeah, he deserves.
he's been
rest.
through a lot.
He deserves a
Right.
rest.
That was
He's been-
very traumatic.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
who? Not for him.
For Rand,
No, not traumatic at all. He made a new friend.
lose.
He made a new friend that he never has to leave.
You know,
Takes best friends to a whole nother level.
I like that there's someone just like hanging out in Rand's head. I think that's fun.
Exactly.
I think Luce Theron is hilarious. I think Luce Theron is like my actual favorite character of the
he
series.
is pretty neat.
I think he's so funny. He makes me laugh all the time.
Yeah,
I would agree. I have friends
Yeah.
in here too. We talk all the time.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
so there's because it's
You got a
spoilery.
friend
Because it's
in
spoilery. It's Chris and Ian do not have access to it. I think Danny, you don't either because you took the role on our Discord server. But someone actually made a bot it's a Luce Theron bot that it will just say random Luce Theron phrases.
Oh,
It's hilarious.
ooh. First I'm hearing about this.
It's on Discord. Yeah, it's in our spoiler channels, so you can't see it. When you're done with
That's
everything, you
funny,
can
though.
use
I
the
like
Luce
that.
Theron
Very
bot all
nice.
you want.
I love that. I love when
It's
he just
great.
like giggles.
Giggles, yeah. Eliana.
Yeah, it's good.
Anyway, so now we switch
Yeah.
to Jolene for a very short little point of view, where it's just basically Tesla trying to convince her that we should go ahead and try to kidnap the girls, all of them. Bring Matt too, Avienda. Let's get them all. Just bring them all back. And Jolene's like,
Yeah, they're pretty salty still. So like,
yeah. It's like, dude,
Especially with the
we
way
don't
that
like a
Alida
lighter.
like
Yeah.
kicked them out of the tower, right?
Yep. Exactly. So she's trying to convince her that no, let's not rush into all that. We're supposed to be mad at Alida, remember? We don't need we don't need to do all that.
better to just like do nothing and then it's
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
have some of that background information on
Oh, somewhere. Yeah, not here.
Tesla and Jolene leaving the tower.
Mm-hmm. There you go. But yeah, and yeah, anything from that information, that little conversation that was had, anything you pulled from it, Chris, or anything?
Well, I mean, that's what we talked about earlier. Like, clearly they're a little perturbed or,
Yeah.
still upset about these women who were once their teachers having betrayed the tower. And it's kind of their opportunity to get a little payback with them. But again, they're, like you said, not bowing down to Alida because they were sent to the heck hole that they're in.
Yeah.
So they're like, you know what? We'll leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
I
because
think,
Jolene was part of the group that like pulled Swan down.
yeah,
And so all of this is kind of her fault.
exactly. But I mean, it's, when you have somebody else biting for power, the best thing to do is to get rid of them. And Jolene was, I guess, viewed as a threat by Alida for some reason or another. So it's like, all right, well, just get rid of you. I don't want to get rid of you. I just want you to leave.
Yeah.
And the fact that they think that they can capture these people with their current, powers, it was just all talk. They're not about much.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And then we switched to Phelan torturing Wise One.
Yeah. Which,
fine.
I was confused between the terms of like the wise women
And
and
the Wise
then
Ones.
the Aiel wise ones.
Yeah.
And also,
I
don't confuse. It's not Phelan. It's Phalion.
Phalion, yeah,
Phalion, because
not Phalion.
There's also a
there's
character
a
called
Phalion, and
Phalion.
there's-
Yeah.
Yes.
We don't
know
say
what kind
names.
of
on
Damn
our
you,
podcast.
Robert Jordan.
We don't say names on
Come
our
on.
podcast at all. We make them up. We come up with something
Well,
new.
and also put like Teslin and Tylin in the same chapter, like
Like,
every
we have
Yeah.
Halsey.
Yeah, Teslin and Tylin and
Yeah.
Beslin.
Beslin,
Yeah.
Teslin, Tylin.
Yeah,
F. Aes Sedai number 3.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yes, but that's going on because trying to figure out where the cache of Tongrail are, and
Yeah.
taking the approach of asking the wise one, which are basically like
Wise
Um,
women,
Wise
wise
women.
woman, not
wise
wise one,
right,
right?
right,
Because the wise
woman
one is
is Aiel, wise
is
women,
Aiel, and then the wise women are these ladies in Ebou Dar
Yeah.
right, which are
who
like
wear red
what-
belts and like
which
are
is-
wisdoms.
right.
Yeah.
Which I guess would be a good place to start. If you're looking for a mystic bowl that could have power, why not go after the women that use mystic powers? Whether they understand what they're doing
Now
or not.
you're using your noggin.
Yeah, she's on the right track. I mean, just kill them all. And at some point, you're going to walk into one of their house and they're going to have it sitting on the kitchen table with rotten fruit in it.
That's right. We're waiting
That's
for
the
it.
plan.
We're waiting for that.
That's the plan.
Exactly.
We'll see how that goes.
Where do you
Mhm.
think it is?
Where
Mhm.
what is?
I think it's in Ebou Dar.
It's a storeroom, right?
Mhm. There's a
Yeah,
storeroom in Ebou Dar.
yeah.
I mean, but in location to where Matt is currently, like,
Yeah.
I do not have a
Within
map
one
of the city. I have
radius.
no
Yeah.
idea.
You know, if it were me, I would probably go back to Teleran Riyadh and try and find it again because that's where we found it the first time. We should
Yeah.
probably have taken some notes.
Probably. Yeah.
that'd be
Probably.
too much.
We probably should have done that. This is an important thing we need to find, apparently. So,
Yeah.
you know, maybe we should have done a little bit of note taking.
What notes
Yeah.
would you have
I
taken?
wonder. I mean,
Figure out.
I assume it's not, but I wonder if like dreaming and talk or
Talk
and-
around.
talk around, tell around Riyadh. Damn you, podcast names. Got me all screwed up tonight. I wonder if like it's like dreaming like we do in real life, like where we had this awesome dream and like 5 minutes after you wake up, you forget everything.
Forget it.
Like,
What would you remember specifically about this location? If you could remember anything and write anything
I
down.
mean, I think the only thing they remember is a dusty warehouse somewhere in Abadar.
Storeroom.
Storeroom, or yeah.
I'm talking to Danny, not to you.
Ebou Dar.
So you would know better than them. Gotcha. Understood.
Yeah. Well, I know. Yeah. That's what I know. I know what they know. I'm a reader of this book.
Yes.
Okay.
Perhaps you should have used another method, but straps and pincers and hot irons were so messy. Leave
Oh,
the
yeah.
body in an alley somewhere, slit the throat so it looks like she was robbed. You can keep the coin in her purse. That's quite cruel, but I mean, it works, I guess.
Well, yeah, we also get a note too that Phalion wishes that Tamail were here because Tamail is like the yellow who tortures people, and that's like her expertise.
Yeah, she's better at
Yeah.
getting answers.
Yeah.
And that's what they need is answers. But what
Because
What's
Ispan
the
is here, and
easiest
Ispan
way of-
isn't as good at torturing as Tamail would have been.
yeah.
Mhm.
There's got to be an easier way of finding this thing. There's got to be some spell or some tool.
Well,
or
especially
something.
these Black Aja, right? Because these are
Yeah.
the ones who were like from the get-go. They were from the first other
Mhm.
plot that the women were part of, where they had
Right.
to find a power object,
Mhm.
but they didn't quite know where to find it. They don't really know what it did, and they were on a search for it. And also, they had to escape the Black Aja. Like, we already had this plot line before. This is
Yeah.
just it again. And these
Yeah.
women were literally part of it again.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
this is like Valiant Tamail is that like from the original that
Right,
like,
either Forsaken would have a tool or a power that would help lead their people to.
well,
greater-
no, because the Forsaken are just like plunked into this world and they don't even know the names of these cities.
Yeah,
half
but,
the
again,
time.
but I mean, they could have like a dog sniffer, you know, something. I don't know how to put a
Always
bomb
back to the
sniffer.
dogs with you. I get it.
Bomb
Mhm.
sniffer.
I'm starting to
but
get a
for
feeling here.
Angrial or Sangreal. I mean, there's got to be an easier way to find these things. A air tag's been put on them, and you can just, click the find button and.
Sometimes it's not that easy to find things. I mean, I went for an entire week without finding my keys one time.
That's true. It's like stuff in my own house I can't find half the time.
I mean, it's
And
Like, I
especially
get
if
it.
you have a kid who puts things in random drawers.
And like I know what the TV remote
Where's
looks like.
the TV
Where did
remote?
it go?
Where
when
did
my
it go?
oldest was 2 years old. Literally, I lost my keys for a week, and after like a week, I finally asked my 2-year-old son. I was like, "Do you know where keys are?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was like,
Yeah,
"Where are
right.
they?" And he's like, "I don't know." And then I went to the other room, came back in. He's holding the keys. Like, I
Yeah,
found
it's
them. I was like, "Where were they?" I don't know. I'm like,
He doesn't want to reveal his hiding spot.
yeah. It's like to this day, I had no idea where he had put them, but he knew where they were, and he knew where they were the whole time. I'm like, anyway, fun times. But yeah, these were the women that worked for good old Muggy Dean Muggedian.
Which
and
why they haven't again.
Well, and Moghedian hasn't showed up here in a
That's what I'm
while.
saying.
Weird,
Moghedian
right?
hasn't checked in with you. You haven't thought about her. You haven't gone looking for her. You haven't what. These people and their care for their leadership is just
Well,
You can't go
no,
looking
you
for
can't go
Moghedian.
questioning your chosen.
mhm.
signs of a poor leader when your own people don't ask questions.
No, I disagree.
Moghedian is a pager, and they haven't beeped her in like a week or 2 or 3.
Well, and
Yeah.
when it comes to the Forsaken, it's more of a dictatorship than actual.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's be leaders and we care about our people.
And they're
We-
scary too, to the point where if you're not hearing from them, that's probably a good thing. You don't
Yeah.
go out and seek them. They'll find you if they need you.
It's
Yeah,
really
but for the most
scary
part,
when they show up, especially because they haven't accomplished the things that Moghedian wanted them to
Also, it's a
accomplish.
chance to kill her. Had they gone looking, or at least keep tabs on her, they'd be like, "Oh, she's trapped." Now's their
Well,
chance.
I mean, they were all there when Leandrin
Did her thing.
did her thing and attempted something on her, and we all know how that ended up for Leandrin. Not great. So
Very true.
yeah, so we're
Somebody
just gonna stay out of the way, under the radar. We don't want those chosen coming looking for us.
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah. So after all the torturing, accidentally kills the wise woman that
Shoot,
yeah.
hate when that happens.
Yeah,
Nah.
orders the Arnon and Nad to dispose of the body, and she thinks maybe just can't be found at this point. Maybe she should try to go capture Nynaeve instead. That would be probably
That would make Moghedian
That's
happy.
always
happy.
the
Yeah.
answer for all these people. Is let's just capture Nynaeve and Elaine,
Yeah.
and let's just bring them back. That's everybody's answer to their problems.
Yeah, just kidnap someone.
So it always makes me feel like maybe Ian's a little right about the women being Taviran as well. There's so much centered around their being, and they're so powerful, and maybe maybe by book 14 they're the actual heroes.
I think that they can be heroes without being Taviran.
I agree.
Mhm.
But
I
Matt,
think that,
Matt-
I think that the whole Taviran thing is more of a plot pusher,
Plot armor.
yeah,
plot armor than anything. And I think
Mhm.
that the women are also really strong, competent heroes.
but could
We
they turn
just
out to
Don't
be
have the label
the
of
hero?
Taviran helping them along.
Mhm.
Why can't they be the hero? Maybe we have a turn.
Maybe they can. Who's
Yeah.
to say they can't?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what the pattern wants.
Maybe
know.
they tried men for so long and they finally vote a woman in.
Is there voting?
No, but maybe.
It's one vote, and it's the pattern is vote.
It's a pattern. The pattern gets the one vote. That's
The pattern gets to choose.
the one party democracies in this world.
Exactly.
There's one name on the ballot and one name only.
Mhm.
But you get to vote. Yeah,
Yeah.
was,
We also have people whose talent it is to see Taviran.
mhm.
That's
And
true.
these people have seen Egwene and Nynaeve and Elaine and have seen that they're not Tamiran.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
So
By the skills, maybe the pattern's protecting them.
yeah, I think that that's absolutely like for sure, but I don't think we have the title, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So anything from all this before we switch to the random old guy walking around?
No, I like the random old guy. I want to know who he is.
That's one of the questions was who is he? But yeah, so this guy's walking
Is he
around
the
at a gold
same old
smith.
guy that Matt has run into?
Is
Like,
it? Is it Patton
yeah,
Fang?
it's Pat. We know it's Patton Fang. Walking around whistling. This dude just comes up out of nowhere whenever he wants. Oh, what is his name? Mordith.
Mordeth, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, it just pops up and whistling around, and
Okay.
that's why the dice keep rolling, because literally Matt was standing next to the worst of enemies for him, and the dagger for that matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that the thing we need to keep in mind is that in this perspective, we're in his head,
Mhm.
and he really doesn't seem to be able to remember
Yeah, he
what's
doesn't know
like. He
what's
doesn't
going
know
on.
what's going on.
There's
knows like a
stuff
little
missing.
bit, but
Yeah, he's kind of like senile.
A little.
A little bit, like just like can't remember things. Trying to. He's supposed to remember something. He has to remember something soon. That's all he knows, but doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
That's the exact same
Mhm.
stuff Matt was going through.
He also has some knives. Oh,
He does
that's
some knives.
a
Yeah.
good point. That's a good point. Going through some stuff that Matt was going through.
Yeah, he's going through the exact same black holes in his mind that Matt had. That
Okay.
Matt, asked to have filled, and he got more than what he bargained for. But
Right.
he's slowly being consumed by the dagger and the darkness that is within it, essentially.
Yeah. Do you think that he's Patton Fane in disguise? Because Matt would recognize Patton Fane.
Well, he's definitely in disguise, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
consciously or not. Yeah, Matt knows who Patton Fane is. We know this, but Patton Fane has been around them in many disguises before. He's also been around them not disguised, and they still didn't recognize who he was. So,
Well, he was really dirty
yeah.
and
that was a different time for Matt too.
and
true.
emaciated.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. This is also a
Yeah.
good point. I don't think Patton Fane's that nice. Nice of a guy.
But
I'm getting the sense.
no, but Patton Fane, when he has an objective, sticks to the objective. I
Yeah.
think he's really trying to lead Matt down this road so that somebody else will take care of Matt.
So do you think this actually is Patton Fane, or are we just trying to blow smoke right now?
No. I feel like with the whistling and everything, that was the first.
Oh, you
thought I
do?
had.
Okay.
Oh, it's Patton Fane. I
Okay.
mean, it may not be, but because of the whistling, I just
Okay.
can't get over that part.
That's from the TV show. Don't
Yeah.
confuse the TV show with the book. The book, he doesn't whistle in the
So-
book, really.
Yeah, he doesn't. No, there's no whistling in the
There's
book.
no whistling in the book.
Let's see here.
Well, I mean, are you talking about early?
There
I
might
mean,
be whistle in the book.
there's
but that's
whistling in
not
this
like part of
chapter,
the
but
book.
Patton Fane does not whistle in either world.
Yeah.
The old
Not like
whoever
a
this
Patton
person
Fane
is
show.
does
I'm
whistle.
sure
Yes.
people in the Wheel of Time whistle. Yeah. Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it happens sometimes where, like, I thought it made before now too,
Man,
like where I
that's
brought something up and like
whistling.
someone corrected me. It's like, that's from the show. It's like, oh yeah, it is from the show.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
Like,
Maybe it's what's his name from book one that we've been waiting to see for forever.
who?
The wolf, the other wolf brother,
Oh, Elias.
Elias. Yeah, that would be-
Elias.
That's a good one. I like Elias. And Matt wouldn't know who Elias is because Matt was not with Perrin and
Yeah.
Egwene during all that. Okay. Get Elias coming back? A
yeah,
long time.
but it could also be darn. My mind is just not here. Like 10:00, 10:30 is my bedtime. It could be Tom.
I
Like
get
maybe
it.
Tom got knocked over the head really hard one good time, and now he's
Okay.
like strolling around,
Okay.
kind of out of it.
Okay.
I mean, Tom always uses his knives.
Yeah.
and he's been alive for well over 30 years. He's killed a few swordsmen.
Wait, are you saying this is Tom who's forgotten who he is, and Matt doesn't recognize Tom?
Why
Well, this
not?
is we don't know if this is the same person
Okay,
that,
all
that
right.
was
Yeah,
talking
we
to.
We don't
theory,
know this is the
theory.
same person.
Good theory. Yeah.
We don't know this is the same person that talked to Matt.
It's just another old
Oh.
guy at Ebou Dar.
Yeah, it's Ebou Dar.
Well,
It's a bunch of old
okay.
people.
Anyways,
No.
yep.
I think the Pad and Fane theory did come from the whistling, and that did come from the show. So
Yeah.
I'm probably wrong about that. If that's the
It's not
case,
a bad theory though.
It's not.
yeah. If that's the case, I really don't know who it is.
I could be someone new.
It could be. We have 7.5 books to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Got time.
I guarantee you, I give this spoiler away. There are going to be more characters that are introduced between now and the end.
Oh, I know.
What?
This is why we make up names for all of them. I don't.
To be
remember
honest with
anything.
you, I'm surprised.
Yeah,
I still get Egwene and Elaine mixed up. It's just is what it is.
there are a lot of names that sound alike. Jordan was bad about that.
So many.
Mhm.
So many names.
But yeah, so that's how we end this chapter with the old man watching the
That's
goldsmith's house where the two Aes Sedai are staying, and he's trying to remember something. We don't know what it is. So, anything we missed?
Maybe this is one of the guys from the Horn, like coming back in his
In the flesh?
rebirth in the
Okay.
flesh.
Okay.
And he's trying to remember that he's supposed to be joining.
Maybe you're just pulling stuff out of your ass now.
I am. I really am. So when I
Sometimes that's
started,
where the best predictions
I-
come from.
I had the
Right up
peer
there.
list. I had the bourbon like all the way up here when I started.
Oh, gotcha. That's where it's coming from.
Bourbon.
Like I do
is
something to
interesting.
stay awake. We'll start with the bourbon. Just
There you
pour.
go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Anything we missed from these chapters? Anything else we want to discuss?
Now I do want to go back to the fact I joked about and glazed over the interaction with Matt, but I really am with you on the whole. He did not want to be touched. He did not have a choice in the matter,
Yeah.
and there was no opportunity to say no. And he didn't want to be disrespectful for a queen.
Right.
So
Yeah, he's in a
person-
tricky situation there.
there's a person using their power to get the better of somebody else, and that's never right, no matter the sex or gender, whichever term you want to use. That's never a good situation to put a person in. So for Matt to be caught in that situation was not fair to him, and it does show the Ebou Dar culture and how off these people are. And so it's no wonder why they're kind of overrun, and they have the people think of them the way that they do. They have the reputation they do because even their queen is living by this standard.
Yeah.
And so that in and of itself is bothersome, and it makes me wonder, like, when is the bad stuff going to happen to the crew? Like something really bad, like Tanchico, something bad happened. So when's the really bad thing going to happen here?
You don't think that the end of like a half a book ago, Rand being literally kidnapped by the Aes Sedai and tortured, that wasn't bad?
Well, that was Rand. When's the bad
That's for
stuff
Rand.
going to happen?
Yeah.
And all the characters have to have something bad happen.
They
too.
all do.
They all
Okay.
do. It has to
Mhm.
continue to happen.
Mhm.
So someone asked,
Yeah.
"What's in the wheelbarrow? What's in the box?
What's in the ball?
box?"
Brad Pitt's wife said. Yeah.
That's
And once they find the bowl, assuming they do, will they even have the power enough to use it?
Interesting. You're assuming they find it.
I am going to assume they find it just
She's
because
also
of the
assuming
amount of
that it's
energy put
real.
in.
Yeah.
I mean, they found the horn. I think if they
He found the
actually
horn by accident.
Yeah,
they
not
didn't
even
even, they didn't
intentionally.
even know they were looking
They
for
weren't
that.
looking for it. So.
look, but they
I'm
got
no writer, but to write a book or several books and talk about this bowl for and then and then never was found. It's like a Monty
Actually, they
Python
track
type
pretty
thing.
well with RJ, right?
if they actually bring Matt in, I think that is going to be the catalyst. His luck is going to rub off on him. And
That's what I was saying. Bring him in here.
Oh, yeah.
So
Mhm.
So
let's
any thoughts,
hope
any thoughts, Chris, on the wheelbarrows? What's in the wheelbarrows?
no thoughts.
Okay,
It's
no thoughts.
oh well. What we put in the little barrel is it smells horrible, and you spread it,
Oh,
and things grow from
okay.
it. So
gotcha.
Well, it's the body that of the wise woman they just killed, isn't it?
exactly, it's
Yeah.
great. It makes great
That's
fertilizer.
what they allude to
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, they're gonna go dump the body in the alleyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, favorite character, Chris. We always do this every episode. Who your favorite character was for these chapters?
This is my favorite character for this chapter. I mean, it was really Matt heavy,
Yeah.
and so I mean, naturally, it would go to Matt just because
Okay.
he keeps winning.
Okay.
All they
doesn't
do
know
is
the
win,
winner?
win, win, no matter what.
Exactly.
And as always, mine is Talmanis because he's always there in my heart.
When he becomes a real best friend, like then we're just gonna be like, we knew it. In our book, Talmanis is a dark friend.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
mhm,
And he is
okay. I see it.
breeding all the entire
No,
black
I don't see
tower.
it, but okay. Mhm.
He's created the dark tower just to
Mhm.
yeah.
Talmanis is sus. Really like playing?
So, there we go. Thank you. We needed a good Ian quote.
There you go. Ian's not here to give me a hard time about picking Talmanis again. Let's see.
Do you always
Um,
pick
The
Telmanis
bowl
and
has a
he's not in
straw
the
handle
chapter?
that lets you suck up the milk from the
We've
base.
had like, yeah.
Hey, I love those bowls. Do you remember those straw bowls?
Yeah, we got them for our
Yeah.
kids.
They're the best.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, we
great.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's really annoying is when they use the straw bowl and then they go get a straw to use in the bowl. And it's like, buddy, it's built in. It's like, nah, I need the different silicone straw so I can chew the crap out of it.
Yeah. Sounds about
Why?
right.
Yeah.
Well, next week, we'll be doing 2 chapters, just 2. Chapter 18 and 19, which the titles are As the Plow Breaks the Earth
Ooh.
and
Ooh.
Diamonds and Stars.
Ooh. I don't remember what happened.
This is where they go to the moon
This is it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
This
they
is
find the ring.
You know what they say? Reach for the stars, and if you miss, you land on the moon.
Land on the moon.
Right?
Exactly.
I don't think that's what
That's
they say.
I'm pretty sure that's
I think,
the saying.
I think
And
it's
our diamond in the rough is finding my ring. I love it. Boom.
can't
There it
wait.
is.
I can't wait for that.
That's what it is. Moraine's coming back next week, guys. So come back.
Why would they plow, by the way? Like they have no rain. That would be the dumbest thing to do.
To
There's
plow.
nothing to plow.
Maybe it's a figure of speech.
Brett, who was your favorite character this chapter?
Yeah.
Who's figure of speech? Yeah.
Oh, that's an easy one, but you go first
Is
because
it Carradine?
no,
Oh.
Carradine.
Oh, is it Narum?
Yeah, it's there.
Okay.
There.
The
The fire
courage
can.
that
There
it
you go.
takes for a manservant who hears that his boss is in danger and he goes with nothing but a frying pan. The guy has no formal training
Yeah.
and he is
See-
willing to risk his life to save.
That's the
Natural
kind of
confidence.
loyalty
I
the
imagine-
Dark are missing,
Oh bother.
There you go.
right?
I could have used my frying pan.
Yeah.
Bonk him on the head real quick.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just
Do
the
it.
most monotonous
Da-
voice.
Danny, your favorite character?
I'm gonna give this to. Ooh,
Gotta give it to somebody.
I know.
Clock's ticking.
I know.
Let's go.
Just
I'm gonna go
You gotta do
Tesla and Jolene. I'm gonna go both
Tesla.
of them together.
because they
And
have
then
those-
also weird old guy sitting on a barrel.
Pick
Because
three.
they
Yeah, I
have
did.
the
I break all the rules.
Break
I
all the
I
told
rules.
you,
like
there are
that.
no rules.
They're more like guidelines. We don't really have
Yeah,
rules.
we don't follow.
Everybody. I just like.
Everybody.
Well, no, I
Everyone
give
was
it to you.
amazing.
Those two had
I
the
mean, like I don't like
audacity to
the Ice
challenge.
Guy, but I do
Except
like
for
the-
Carradine. Screw that guy. But everybody else is amazing.
Yeah,
They had the
do.
audacity to challenge 5 other Aes Sedai. And think
yeah.
that they were
I like
going-
the. I
love
like
it.
the little. I like the hallway ambush. I think that
Yeah.
was funny.
And you know, they clearly probably paid somebody off to like drop him off here first. Let us have a moment with him.
Hmm.
They got some spies working in the palace for him.
Yeah, and I really do hope that Jacob Carradine did get that glass of brandy.
You know what? I
He
think
was really pining for it.
He
He was waiting.
deserved
He was waiting for Millie to leave, and he
Makes
really,
sense.
really wanted it. So
Yeah.
it's not like he's gonna go do the searching. He sent her to do it.
yeah, so he's
Yeah.
just like waiting for it to go because he really,
It's
really
delegation. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Sounds good. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on and joining us for a night of complete shenanigans.
Thanks for having us. I'm
Yeah,
glad
it
we
was
were
fun.
able
Yeah.
to make the timing work, and I'm glad I was able to break Brett down and let me do something like this because the rule has always been I'm not allowed for fear of spoilers.
Spoilers, yeah. Well, hopefully we didn't spoil too much.
No, I hope I didn't spoil anything. Oh my
I
gosh.
don't think you did.
You really didn't. Like
Except
you
for
were like,
except for the moon plot that
Oh, yeah.
I was really
Oops.
upset about that. But hey, we'll
Oops.
He already figured it out, so like you got to give
Yeah.
it to him, right?
I mean, that's
Good
where he
deal.
finds Daughter of Nine Moons too.
yeah.
Right?
Well, how can people
On the
find?
moon.
Which planet
On
has
the
9
moon.
moons? Right?
Oh,
Oh.
I guess Saturn and Jupiter have
Saturn.
more than 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
30 or something.
Yeah,
Maybe
they're
they're
a
getting
ton.
Must have
there's
9 technically.
I don't know. Does Uranus and Neptune have 9? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Anyway,
man.
no idea. No idea. So how can people find you guys?
Oh, well, we are on every major podcast streaming platform, Spotify, Apple, all the good ones. And then we also are on YouTube as well. All of our episodes are on YouTube. You can find us there, or you can find us at the wheelweavespodcast.com, and all of our links are there. So
Cool.
feel free to check us out.
People go check them out. They are a lot of fun. And another first time reader perspective is always fun to listen to. It's like three of us. So I guess there's more than just the three. We'll take us and you guys. There's a couple other ones out there too. But yeah, first time readers are fun. And how we can be found is at thewillreads.com. All our links are there. So you guys know how it is. Join Discord, support us all different ways. Find the links, buy merch. You guys have merch too, right?
Yep. Mhm.
Do you guys use new creations?
Yes, and we also have
so
Zazzle, and we
Okay,
have
cool.
Spreadshirt in the UK.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Mhm.
You guys have all of them. I should probably look into that. Sorry,
Yeah,
Jen.
it's different because like
Yeah.
I don't know.
For shipping and different places, because for new creation, the shipping
expensive.
was really high shipping to
Mhm.
Canada, and we have a lot of fans in Canada, and so we have Zazzle, which
Yeah.
covers more areas, and then Spreadshirt the co.uk.
Yeah, I shipped a
UK.
sticker one time to Australia from. I'm not going to get into it. It was a lot of money.
Yeah,
They want a
it's
sticker,
a
and it was
lot.
the
It's
most
like-
expensive
yeah.
sticker I've ever paid for.
Mhm. Yeah, and Dana Lou, who just said we also do shots in our podcast. We play drinking games, and
Nice.
people. These are our. If you're watching on YouTube, these are all of our shots that people have sent us in. We actually probably
Awesome.
need a new shelf because
I was
we're
about to
overflowing.
say,
We're
yeah.
overflowing. So
If you go on Amazon, they have a nice case that holds like 38 glasses.
ooh, yeah, we definitely do
Yeah.
something like that for
Okay.
sure.
Hangs right on the wall. It's really dope.
Well,
Cool. Look into that.
Well, anyone who listened to this whole episode, go check out the Will Weaves. Keep listening to us. Do all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And that's all I really got for this week. So
Until next time,
am I
you
supposed to
guys
say peace
can
now?
sure.
Peace.
Oh, are we? What do we say?
No, you're
Well, normally
good.
Ian says until next time, then then Chris says peace.
We're having an
And then,
awkward ending just
Oh,
because Ian's
ending.
not here.
Until next time.
Peace.